screenplay by Sam Hamm and Warren Scarron, directed by Tim Burton. All right, fade in, cityscape, night, Gotham City, the city of tomorrow. Stark angles, creeping shadows, dense crowded as if hell had erupted through the sidewalks. A dangling fat moon shines overhead. Gotham Square night. Pushers wave to hookers, street hustlers slap high fives, the three card market dealers. They all seem to know each other with one conspicuous exception. A tourist family, mom, dad, and little Jimmy, march warily down the main drag just out of a show where the respectable theater crowd has thinned out and now play bowls in hand they're on Gotham's meanest streets.
For God's sake, Harold, can we please just get a taxi?
I'm trying to get a taxi! Three cabs streak past in despair. Jimmy reads map.
We're going the wrong way.
Nearby street types are beginning to snicker. Put that away. We look like tourists. The two cops lean on their patrol car outside an all-night souvlaki stand, sipping coffee and chatting with a hooker. Hooker smiles at Jimmy. Jimmy smiles back. Mom yanks him off down the street and glowers at Dad. We'll never get a cab. Let's cut over to 7th.
7th is that away.
I know where we are. Side street nights, deserted street lined with stripped down cars. Family marches into darkness. And that's you, Jeremy.
Hey, mister, give me $1.
A derelict 19 or 20, acne scarred, his ratty t-shirt. I love Gotham City. Family moves on, pretending not to hear.
Mister, how about it? $1. Are you deaf? Do you speak English?
Tourists cross street. Derelict doesn't follow. Their pace quickens. A shadowy figure in the alleyway. A gloved hand slams a gun across Dad's neck. He crumples. Mom grabs Jimmy and backs up against a brick wall. Too terrified to scream, Derelict races across the street to join his confederate, the street punk, who is ready searching for Dad's wallet. Mom's ready to snap. Street punk trains his gun on Jimmy.
Do the kid a favor, lady. Don't scream.
Tears stream down her face. She stifles a scream and clutches Jimmy. He's paralyzed with fear. The two punks chuckle and race away. Mom's self-control disintegrates. She begins to scream before moving to unconscious Dad. Scream echoes. Cathedral night, a dark, early ornate Gotham anomaly. Old city cathedral, once grand, long since boarded up. Stone gargoyles gaze from the shadowy rooftops. Mom's scream, uninterrupted from the previous scene, echoes up, and one of the gargoyles moves. Rooftop night, 6 stories up. The punks, Nick and Eddie, hunker down on tar and gravel roof, fizzing up their take.
All right, American Express. Don't leave home without it.
Still wind blows as Nick counts cash. There's a distant metallic clang. Eddie hears it and tenses up.
Let's beat it, man. I don't like it up here.
What are you, scared of heights?
I don't know. After what happened to Johnny Gobbs?
Look, Johnny Gobbs got ripped, walked off a roof, all right? No big loss.
No, man. That ain't what I heard at all. I heard the bat got him.
The bat? Give me a break. Will you, Eddie?
5 stories, straight down. There was no blood in the body.
No shit. It was all over the pavement.
Another sound. Now even Nick can't ignore the slight tingle at the base of his spine.
Shut up. There ain't no bat.
At the opposite corner of the roof, some 15 yards away at the end of the line, a strange black silhouette is dropping slowly, implacably into frame.
You shouldn't have turned the gun on that kid, man. You shouldn't have.
You want your cut of the money or not? Don't you? Now shut up. Shut up.
Both punks freeze at the sudden inexplicable sound of boots crunching on gravel. They turn slowly, their jaws drop. At the edge of the roof, faded moonlight, is a black apparition. Eddie freezes, a choked gurgle in his throat. The black figure advances, spreads his arms slowly, majestically. Great shadowy wings flap in the wind. On his chest is the emblem of a bat in an oval yellow field, glowing like a target in the darkness. Nick drops to the gravel, grabs the gun, and fires twice. 2 clean, strange black figures knock bodily to the roof.
I'm getting out of here.
He bends to retrieve his loot. Eddie lets out an odd, proverbial squeal, and Nick sees the human bat back on his feet, malnourished, undead, moving slowly, and Flozer panics. Stolen money out of Nick's hand to the fire escape. Trapped like a rat, Nick fires wildly. Eddie's face is pale. The bat treads calmly past the legs, snakes out. A black boot catches Eddie high on the chest, lifts him cleanly off his feet, and sends him flying through the air. Eddie slams to a brick chimney and slumps unconscious. The bat doesn't even break the stride. Nick charges past the black wraith toward a fire escape. A gloved hand slices through the air. Nick pitches forward, his legs ensnared in a tangle of wires, screaming. He drags himself across the gravel roof, the bat at his heels. Still, there's no place left to go. Nick cowers on the edge. Nick keeps soothing, eyes closed. Hammer falls in an empty chamber, but Nick still pulls the trigger. He moans. Bat grabs Nick by the shirt, hoists him into the air.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Nick opens his eyes. The bat is standing on the ledge of the roof, holding him out at arm's length over 6 stories of nothingness. A rasping voice.
I won't kill you. I want you to do me a favor.
What are you?
Tell your friends. Tell all your friends.
And Nick howls. Batman heaves him roughly back into the gravel and surface of the roof, and then casually, without a moment's hesitation, steps off the ledge into midair. Trembling, Nick crawls to the ledge and looks over, finding absolutely no trace of the Batman. Nick is still screaming as we pan up to Gotham's Moon. Main credits roll. In the real movie, credits are before the scene, but interior Gotham City's Democrats Club night. A victory poster fills one wall. Congratulations, a new Gotham City Harvey Dent District Attorney. Mayor Bork, hysterical and self-certain, introduces the new District Attorney Harvey Dent, a young, determined lawyer.
Across this nation, the words Gotham City are synonymous with crime. Our streets are overrun, and our police officials have been helpless. As mayor, I promised you I would root out the source of corruption at its root. Boss Carl Grisham, our new district attorney, Harvey Dent, will carry out that promise. I promise.
Applause. Dent stands to speak. We see a single empty place sitting at the end of the table and an engraved play card which bears the name Bruce Wayne.
I'm a man of few words, but those words will count, and so will our actions. I have talked today to Police Commissioner Gordon.
Gotham Police Commissioner, distinguished gent in his late 50s.
He is targeting businesses suspected of fronting for the syndicate in this city. Within 1 week, we'll knock down their doors and shed the light of the law on that nest of vipers.
Enter an apartment at night. A woman's apartment, sparsely furnished, but tasteless. Modern chairs and coffee table in front of the TV set. High fashion magazine. Picture blows up, all modeled by the same girl on the walls. In foreground, a man's hand, long, elegant, and manicured, manipulates a deck of cards, doing a one-handed shuffle with extraordinary finesse. The TV news has highlights of Harvey Dent's victory speech.
Together, we can make this city safe for decent people.
The hand sets the deck on the table, turns up 4 jacks off the top. This most unusual deck sports a .22 caliber bullet hole straight through the middle. Decent people shouldn't live here. They'd be happier someplace else. Jack Napier is a right-hand man and chief enforcer to boss Carl Grissom. He is tough, vain, takes great pride in his appearance, and is not reconciled to no longer being 21. Velvet Death, Alicia Hunt, Carl Grissom's woman, glides over in her negligee. Jack has his feet on the table, resting on a copy of Vogue on the cover, which is a picture of Alicia. She lifts his feet and rescues the magazine. She's young, very beautiful, and as narcissistic as Jack. She's the model pictured on the walls.
Pretty tough talk about Carl.
Don't worry about it. This clown could tough Grissom. I'd have him killed by now. Alicia knocks Jack's loose tie playfully about his neck.
If Grissom knew about us, he might kill you.
Jack's eyes dart back and forth between TV and his own reflection in nearby vanity, not interested in her. Don't flatter yourself, Angel. You're a tired old man. Can't run this city without me. Besides, he doesn't know. Jack remotes off the TV.
You don't worry about anything, do you, Jack?
Jack gives Alicia a disdainful look, consults his watch, reaches for his top gun, and stands in front of the vanity. He runs a hand through sculpted hair, checks his fine threads.
You look fine.
He smiles at himself before turning to the door. I didn't ask. Cut to an alleyway at night. The scene of the earlier mugging is now above with police cars and ambulance and forensic vans. Eddie goes past on a stretcher, catatonic. Watching him are a police medic and a Torsten Kopp, Lieutenant Eckhart, who jots on a notepad.
Now let me guess. A gigantic, menacing supernatural form in the shape of a bat.
That one there won't say a word. The other one's raving his head off.
Are you reading the right script?
I don't think I am.
Okay.
No,
Your costumes are amazing.
Thank you.
Not in that scene.
It's a good
Go-
change.
Go to the event page. It should be on
All right,
there.
got it. That's it. That's what they're seeing up there.
I'm drinking Drano.
Still weird, Lieutenant.
Ah, Christ. Knox.
At the map of the alley is Alexander Knox, 30, a crime reporter for the Gotham Globe.
Hiya, gents. I hear we went on the giant bat attack. That's 8 sightings now in just under a month. I hear the commissioner's open to file.
Sorry, Knox. These two slipped on a banana peel.
2 uniformed patrolmen drag a brain-fried Nick past.
That, I tell you, a giant bat. He wanted me to do him a favor.
Knox smirks. Eckhart and the medic trade disgusted looks.
I'll be writing this crap in the newspaper, Knox. It'll ruin your already useless reputation.
Lieutenant, lots of punks in town are scared stiff. They say he drinks blood. They say he can't be killed.
I see. You're full of shit, Knox.
Eckhart turns away in annoyance.
Oh, and you can quote me on that.
Lieutenant, is there a 6-foot bat in Gotham City? And if so, is he on a police payroll? And if so, what's he pulling down? After taxes.
Street at night. Eckhart emerges onto the side street and spies a stretch limo idling nearby. Leaning on the hood, waving high, is a dandyish Jack Napier. Jack's odd driver, Bob Hawkins, polishes the door handle. Jack swaggers up and tosses Eckhart a sandwich bag. Brought you a little snack, Eckhart. Eckhart looks at the sandwich inside. It's full of $100 bills. The cop throws a nervous glance back in Knox's direction and stuffs it quickly in his coat.
Why don't you broadcast it, Napier?
Shut up and listen. Harvey Dent is sniffing around one of our companies. Eckhart bristles.
That's my territory, Jack. If there's a problem,
Suddenly, Jax grabs Eckhart by the lapels of his top coat. Eckhart, your problems are our problems.
I answer to Grissom, not to psychos.
Why, Eckhart, you should be thinking about the future.
You mean when you run the show? You got no future, Jack. You're an A1 nutboy, and Grissom knows it.
Jack claps a hand on Eckhart's face and shoves him full force into the wall. Then Eckhart turns bright red and grabs Jack by the coat collar and rips out his gun. Jack calmly takes his hand from Eckhart's face as the latter brings the gun up. Watch his suit. Breathing heavily, Eckhart lets go of Jack's coat and lowers the gun. See? He can make a good decision when we try. Jack laughs insanely in Eckhart's ashen face. Exits. When Jack is out of earshot, Eckhart mutters menacingly.
Where you been spending your nights, handsome?
Gotham City Square day. Hard-headed Denton Gordon follow Mayor across the construction-filled square where preparations are being made for a gigantic public event. Banners go up saying 200th anniversary of Gotham City Festival.
I don't care how much in debt this festival is. I want a parade, hot dogs, balloons, the whole schmear. We're going to celebrate this 200th anniversary proudly and publicly.
We may be celebrating it in bankruptcy court. Tax base is crumbling. And if this festival crashes, you can kiss our bond rating goodbye. The festival's $350,000 in the red, and we haven't seen one balloon.
Look, I'll take care of the festival budget. I've got a party of rich old ladies who will pay $1,000 to see the inside of Wayne Manor. You fill this square with people, kids, dogs, families, and the businesses will come back here.
I think a lot of people may stay away, Mayor. They're scared.
They won't be scared when you've got Grisham in that courthouse. I promise that, right?
Gordon nods as Mayor marches across the square. In the Gotham Globe City Room Day, Gotham's leading tabloid daily, Knox rushes in, spots Bob the cartoonist at his drafting table with several amused reporters looking on.
Well, well. Count Dracula. You seen Bigfoot lately?
They buried your story on the Batman.
They bury garbage.
This is Pulitzer Prize zone, boys. You wait.
Oh, Knox, I got something for you.
Bob holds up a drawing of a human bat with an awful fanged rodent's face wearing a business suit. The caption reads, "Have you seen this man?" The reporters crack up. Knox, who's used to the ripping, mumbles.
Nice, boys. I'm gore in the fangs, though. What a dick.
He moves on. In Knox's office day, Knox approaches but stops in his tracks. Propped up on the desk are a pair of exceptional legs. Knox stares. He takes her in, the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, is attached to the legs, leaning back in Knox's swivel chair, reading the Globe, her face obscured by a big, outrageous hat. He enters.
Hello, legs.
The hat is back. Vicky Vale, her face framed by a shock of bright red hair, flashes a dazzling smile.
I'm reading your stuff.
And I'm reading yours.
He looks at the oversized camera bag with decals all over it. Monogram BB. She stands, shakes hands.
Hi, I'm Vicky Vale.
Her attitude is strong, hip, professional.
Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale. Let's see. Vogue, Cosmo. I've seen your stuff. Listen, you didn't come here to ask me to pose nude because you're gonna need a long lens.
Actually,
Actually, I've been in Corte Maltese.
She pulls out a sheet of combat photos, exploding jeeps, burning huts, bodies in piles, a bloody revolution.
Hey, a girl could get hurt doing this.
Knox is impressed, but he's also smitten.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to see some of the wildlife in Gotham City.
Wildlife? Like what?
Like bats.
She indicates his desk, which is littered with doodles of bats.
Who sent you?
No one. I read your piece. There's something about this that's very interesting to me.
What's your angle?
A picture of a guy in a bat suit catching criminals? Bat sweeps crime from Gotham. My pictures, your words. This is Pulitzer Prize material.
You are a visionary. Problem is, you're the only one who believes me. I need something tangible. Gordon's got a file on this, but I can't get him on the phone.
A sly look crosses Vicky's face.
He'll be at Bruce Wayne's benefit, won't he?
I don't seem to be on the guest list.
Sulking, he doesn't notice Vicky reaching into her camera bag. He doesn't see the small white invitation until she dangles it right in front of his nose.
Miss Vale got a date?
He flutters her great big eyelashes and shakes her head, no.
Wait. Will you help me?
Yes, will you marry me?
Perhaps. Do you snore?
She laughs. He offers her his arm.
I'll learn.
In the penthouse night, a huge plate glass window on the best view in Gotham, Carl Grissom, criminal kingpin, he's 50, utterly without charm. His lieutenants, bloodless, white-collar types, as well as a few outright goons, are sprawled nearby in easy chairs. Grissom waves a copy of the Globe with Harvey Dent staring out from page 1.
Hey, this son of a bitch makes a connection with us and Axis Chemicals. What kind of damage are we looking at?
If he ties us in with Axis Chemical, we're dead and buried. We should move immediately.
Jack slouches in his easy chair, doing his one-handed shuffle. Let's just break in, trash the office, make off with the books, and call it industrial espionage.
Smart thinking, Jack. That's the way to go. In fact, I'd like you to handle this operation personally.
Me? Jack Hand freezes over his lucky deck. Nervously, he turns a card off the top. It's not a jack, it's a joker. A joker with a neat, round, 22 caliber hole through its face. At this exact moment, metal doors slide back and Alicia Hunt steps out of Grissom's private elevator with an armful of shopping bags.
Hello, sweetheart. I wonder if you'd mind waiting in the other room.
Alicia's gaze meets Jack's nervously as she vanishes through a side door. The eye contact is not lost on Grissom.
Thank you, gentlemen. That's all for now.
Grissom's cronies file out. Jack Trouble lingers behind, looks miserable and obviously doesn't want to go. Carl, can't we find somebody else? Fumes in that place.
Jack, it's an important job. I need someone I can trust. You're my #1 guy. Now, don't forget your lucky deck.
Jack resigned, pockets the deck, and leaves.
My friend, your luck is about to change.
Alicia appears in the doorway, modeling her new purchases.
Get me Lieutenant Eckhart.
Wayne Manor, at night, a vast rambling mansion on 60 wooded acres, a half-hour's drive from Gotham. Out front, a team of red-jacketed valets are parking expensive cars. In the ballroom at night, the ballroom is outfitted with roulette wheels for a casino night. Gotham's power elite eagerly throw cash to Mayor's Festival Kitty. Small banners save the festival. Another angle on handsome young Bruce Wayne enters from the kitchen. He's a rich, smart guy with 1,000 things on his mind, but when we think he's not paying attention, you're wrong. It's a thing. A waiter hands him something to sign. He signs and the waiter exits. Left with the pen, he isn't sure what to do with it. He looks around and finally decides to put it in a flower pot. But then Alfred, the butler, 60s, mannered but with sense of humor, appears and takes it from him. Alfred smiles as Bruce continues through the foyer pass. In his cheap suit stands Knox, staring inquisitively up at the ceiling. Alfred appears with a tray, champagne glasses. He too looks up at the ceiling.
Can I help you, sir?
You know, if you cut your bath in half, you'd have my whole apartment.
We do have a rather large bathroom, sir.
No, I meant your bath, as in tub.
Knox takes a drink and Alfred moves on. Another angle, Alfred stoops to pick up some glass. The other glass is on a straight slide. He's caught a bit. Vicky catches the glass. Vicky smiles.
You're okay?
Yes, thank you.
A small bond has been formed. Alfred continues on his way. As an afterthought, Vicky calls after him. Stop. Bruce has been watching. Vicky turns to him.
Excuse me. Which one of these guys is Bruce Wayne?
I'm not sure.
Thanks.
Yeah?
Vicky walks away. Bruce watches her, very intrigued. Angle on Gordon at craps table, blowing to his fist. He rolls dice, snakes eyes. He passes the dice as Knox and Vicky push up.
Mr. Gordon, Mrs. Gordon, how nice you look tonight. Have you heard this crazy rumor that you opened a file on the Batman? It's not true, is it?
Knox puts his hands up behind his head and wiggles his fingers like little bat ears. Gordon groans.
Knox, for the 9th time, there is no bat. If there were, we would find him. We would arrest him.
Find him, arrest him. That's what I always hear, Commissioner. Be straight with me.
Dent ambles up, claps a hand on Gordon's shoulder.
How's your luck, Jim?
Mr. Dent, Commissioner Gordon and I were just talking about winged vigilantes. What's your stand?
Mr. Knox, we have enough real problems in this city without worrying about ghosts.
An officer motions to Gordon, who follows him into another room. Vicky nods at Knox as they slip away to follow them. Angle on Bruce, he watches them, especially the beauticious Vicky. Axis Chemical Company at night. A neon sign reads, Axis Chemical, the future is now. From the sign, we pan to a metal gate, dumping tons of turning toxic sludge into Gotham's East River. A plane van pulls up, Jack and Goons get out. Another angle, security guard in a booth at the entrance to the lot. One of Jack's boys creep up and kicks the guard out. Jack and Goons sneak in. Wayne Manor Armory. Knox and Vicky enter looking for Gordon. No luck. Knox goes googly-eyed at the armory.
And here we are at the arsenal.
On the wall hang exotic weapons, every arcane implement of death the human mind has ever devised. Knox lends out a whistle.
Look at this stuff. Who is this guy?
Bruce enters and stands just behind them. Vicky sees him, but having seen him earlier, regards him casually like another partygoer. Bruce listens with interest.
Strange. He gives to humanitarian causes and then collects all this?
Probably does it to get chicks. They like him for his big charity balls.
I think it's his enormous bankroll they go for.
Hey, the more they've got, the less they're worth.
This guy must be the most worthless man in America.
Where do you think this guy come from?
It's Japanese.
Knox turns. Bruce is trying to remember, but is really watching Vicky.
How do you know?
Because I got in Japan.
Who are you?
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Alexander Knox.
I read your work. I like it.
Great. Give me a grant.
Great. Bruce flips a polite smile at Knox and switches smoothly to Vicky, who is amused at being had by Bruce. She sticks out her hand.
Vicky Vale.
Bruce Wayne.
You sure?
I've seen your photographs from Cordo Maltese. You've got an extraordinary eye.
Bruce is charming. Knox's territorial instincts are aroused.
Some people think she has two.
This is an amazing house. I'd love to shoot it sometime.
A wine steward enters. Vicky and Knox exchange glances.
Mr. Wayne, we need to open another 5 cases of the champagne. Will that be all right?
Yes, sure. Open 6.
Steward exits. Bruce turns back to catch up with himself.
Yes. Will you be staying in Gotham for a while?
I'd like to. I'm intrigued by Alex's giant bat story.
A rich couple waves at Bruce as they exit. He politely waves to them. Then he looks after them like he can't remember who they are. And he does remember, then back to Vicky.
Isn't that a little light after a war in Cordo Maltese?
Life, what do you do for a living?
Alfred appears in the doorway behind him.
Sir, Commissioner Gordon was compelled to leave.
Thank you, Alfred.
He turns back to Vicky. Alfred persists.
Sir, very unexpectedly.
Oh, thank you, Alfred. I hope you'll excuse me.
Vicky smiles. A connection has been made. They both know it.
Sure.
Bruce turns to go, sending his glass too close to the edge of the table. Alfred calls to him.
Sir, I think perhaps this way.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Alfred. They need more wine in the front, and someone named Miss Daly wanted a copy of the menu. Oh, and Alfred, give Knox a crown.
He winks at Knox and goes the other way out of the room. Alfred fluidly sweeps up Bruce's glass and follows him briskly out of the room. Knox is stung and Vicky transfixed.
Nice talking to you, Bruce. Now, are the rich odd? Yes, they are. Hello, Vicky.
Sorry, he's complicated.
I said odd.
Hmm.
Oh, you're not the only fan. The guy loves himself. There's mirrors in every room.
And indeed, the two of them are standing before an enormous wall mirror, 8 feet wide, running from floor to ceiling.
Maybe we should call Bruce Vane.
Verse angled to the mirror, looking down on Knox and Vicky through a one-way glass behind the mirror, recording everything that happens in the room, is a small, silent, state-of-the-art surveillance camera. Close-up video monitor showing Knox and Vicky in the library. The screen we're watching is the only one in a whole vast bank of video monitors. A control center showing everything that happens in the house. The background is blurry, indistinct, but we seem to be in the midst of a vast, dark cave. On another screen, guests move backward with exaggerated speed as a videotape rewinds. At the panel, Bruce Wayne hits a button and watches Commissioner Gordon talking to a uniformed patrolman.
Anonymous tip. Napier's cleaning out access chemicals.
Good Lord, if we could put our hands on him, we'd have Grissom. Why wasn't I told about this? Who's in charge of the...
Eckhart, sir.
Oh my God.
And suddenly, Gordon is grabbing for his coat. The monitor goes black. Bruce is somehow different, more relaxed. He stands up. He gathers himself, focuses inwardly in a way that empowers him. And at Axis Chemical Company parking lot night, police cars are pulling into lot. Eckhart circulates among his armed SWAT team, handing out Xerox copies of a mugshot, Jack Napier, front and profile.
Shoot to kill.
Axis Chemical file room at night. Sparks fly a cracker and welder's mask planes a blowtorch onto the office safe. Behind him, Jack's hoods are at work on the filing cabinets. Jack stands watching, squinting through the fumes. He holds a silk handkerchief over his nose and mouth, keeping the book inside.
Empty.
Jack shakes his head. They've been set up. A siren blares outside. We've been ratted out here, boys. And at Axis Chemicals, Jack and his hoods dug out of the office, 2 stories above the refinery floor onto a network of ladders and catwalks. A cop stationed behind a bank of machinery shouts out,
"Freeze!"
One of the hoods opens fire. Half of his colleagues dive back into the office looking for a rare exit. The others take off across the catwalks, factory floor. Cops shoot back, and as the hoods scatter, the cops' bullets puncture ducts and pipes from which gas and unpleasant-looking liquid begins to leak. All at once, a corrugated steel door rises, and Commissioner Gordon marches in with a squadron of uniformed cops. He grabs a startled Eckhart by the shoulder.
What the hell is going on here?
Christ, what are you trying to do? Blow the collar?
I'm in charge here, not Carl Grissom. I want him taken alive. I repeat, any man who opens fire on Jack Napier will answer to me.
Eckhart slips away into the plant. Gordon realizes he's gone and follows with a gun drawn. Angle on Jack. Down on the floor, racing through switches, aiming to create a diversion. Gigantic machines roar to life. Overhead chemical tanks rotate into place above giant basins and spew out their contents. Cops on Jack's tail. He shoots at them and runs. Angle on catwalks. Hoods 3 and 4 scale across the elevated walkways, firing at police and puncturing more ducts, pipes, and containers. thereby releasing more chemicals. Their heads turn at the sound of the sudden clang as Batman drops onto the catwalk from above. For a moment, they gape. Then Hood 4 takes off running. Hood 3 turns and levels his gun at Batman. He goes for his belt for a miniature spear gun and fires at Hood 3, planting a barb hook in Hood's jacket, spinning him around. Hood 3 drops his gun, slips, and with a terrible shriek, topples over the railing. The hook in his jacket jerks him up short, leaving him to dangle 30 feet above the factory floor. Commissioner Gordon, his gaze whips upward from dangling Hood to the figure on the catwalk. He just realized there is a bat.
Oh my God.
Chemical supply room. Jack looking for an exit behind him. A steel door begins to rise. More cops. He picks up the axe and runs to the bottom of iron stairs. The huge steel containers with danger, highly toxic, written on them under skull and crossbones. He swings the axe, releasing a river of wild-colored poisons. Angle on cops at the bottom of the stairs. They retreat hastily, bumping into each other as poisons flood toward them. Jack, on the other side of the chemical moat, throws away the axe and climbs the stairs. Factory floor. A moment later, a river of chemicals courses into the main refinery. Cops slip and slide on the wet surface of the factory floor, gasping on acid fumes. Metal stairs leading to the catwalk. Jack climbs metal stairs. Above him, vast of churning chemical sludge and sewage gates opening on the East River. It's the waste up. Upon the catwalk, Batman slips to the shadows and watches Jack's approach. Jack reaches the catwalk. Located above the center of it, it's a glass panel window, propped open by a supporting rod. Beyond this is a 40-foot drop to the swirling black currents of the East River and freedom. To reach the window, Jack will be exposed to police bullets. He makes a dash for it and has begun to climb up to it on the catwalk railings. But Batman hurls in and puts him in a wrestling hold. Jack struggles for a moment, then registers what's hit him and freaks out. Jesus! But just then,
Hold it.
angle on factory floor. That moment, Bob's got a gun pointing at Commissioner Gordon's head.
Let him go, or I'll do Gordon.
A tense moment passes. Eckhart appears on the floor, looks up at Jack. Catwalk a moment later, Batman releases Jack and stands clear. Jack straightens his clothes and fixes his spear. Nice out. Jack, let's get out of here. Jack spies 38 automatic abandoned at the catwalk, angle on the factory floor. Eckhart uses this moment to sneak away. A voice breaks the tension. Eckhart, think about the future. All eyes turn to Jack, standing poised with the 38 in his fist. He fires. Eckhart falls dead. Jack turns his gun to Gordon. Batman moves. Jack spins on Batman. Their eyes meet for a second. Tied on Batman. A questioning look on his face. A spark. Tied on Jack. A small smile plays on his lips. On trigger, he fires point blank at Batman. And Batman swings his heavy cape. The bullet ricochets directly back at Jack. An ungodly howl of pain echoes from the catwalk above. Jack heels and staggers, clutching in his cheeks. Blood gushes from between his fingers. Jack Napier has been shot through the face. He staggers into the catwalk railing and topples over, just managing to grab hold of the lowest rung. Directly beneath him is a catch basin full of bubbling toxic waste. On the catwalk, that moment, Batman leaps and tries to grab Jack's hand. Jack drops, but catches him on a pipe. He's slipping. Batman reaches, gets a poor grip. He stares perplexed, the stricken expression in Jack's eyes. On the catwalk, Jack is sliding out of Batman's grasp. A long beat, Jack looks at him in terror and slips away to plunge 2 stories down into the catch basin of bubbling toxic waste, screaming all the way. Angle in on factory floor a moment later.
God damn it, we had him!
Cops level their guns on Batman. A couple of them appear at either end of the catwalk, effectively blocking his escape. He takes in the situation, hands on his belt.
Hold it right there.
Batman raises his hand in a gesture of surrender as the cops advance from both ends of the catwalk. He flicks 2 ton capsules at the nearby wall. A blinding flash of light, colors burst into a wild pyrotechnic display. Cops stumble backwards, momentarily douses a thick wall of black smoke, and steals Batman from view. A tiny grappling hook rockets out of a dense curling cloud and catches on the edge of a window in the roof.
Look.
The cops are firing wildly into the smoke, but the black majestic figure of the Batman whips upward, disappearing into the shadowy heights, safely out of range.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. And until we find out, keep a lid on it.
Axis Chemical Company Night, a black shadow scurries across the roof from illuminated sign with its neon ace. We pan down past the chemical sluice to a second ace, a car from Jack's luxury deck pierced by a neat round bullet hole bobbing on the oily surface of the foul polluted river. Gradually, other cards from decks roll past a 9, a deuce, a queen, and finally a joker shot cleanly through the face. A bone white hand breaks the surface as we go into Gotham Globe City room. A banner headline on the late edition of the Globe: Batman foils robbery, Jack Napier dead. Who is masked vigilante? Behind the newspaper, feet propped up on his desk, is a jubilant Knox. He's on the horn to Gordon.
Yes, Commissioner, if there's no bat, then who dropped this guy Napier into the acid? Oh, wait a minute. No, I got to get this on tape, man.
He holds a tape recorder up to the phone, listens a loud click as Gordon hangs up on him. Vicky bolts in with a sheaf of photographs, starts to hang them on the wall, making a photo montage of the city. Cartoonistic head and door, tapes drawing of Batman with arm on Knox's shoulder. Guy exits, Knox hangs up.
Vicky Vale, Nostradamus.
Look at this alley.
Knox comes around, she points to her montage map.
Here is the inner city, and here's Axis Chemicals. Here are the sightings so far.
You do this? This is great.
Maybe the Batman's got some sort of flight pattern or something.
Yeah, tonight we'll walk the trail.
Tomorrow, maybe. I've got a date with Bruce Wayne, sorry.
Oh, Bruce Wayne? No, a date is two normal people go out and enjoy each other. A date for Bruce Wayne is when he goes to a restaurant with mirrors by himself.
She plants a kiss on his forehead.
You're awfully sweet to be so concerned, but thanks anyway.
Vicky smiles and exits, not to full acts.
Copy, get me the morgue. Morgue, give me how you got on Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Estates, riding stables. This is completely different from the final movie anyway, by the way. Bruce and Vicky gallop up on horseback. They dismount. Bruce grooms his horse. Vicky watches.
You're not bad on a horse.
Horses love me. I keep falling off. Maybe that's why they love me. They should see me. I'm one big mass of bruises.
Maybe we can arrange a little examination.
Oh my
Bruce,
God.
without a puts the curry comb up on a rail and turns to her.
Yeah, how about right now?
Vicky is caught in her own sexual trap.
Just kidding.
You thought you had me, didn't you?
Bruce smiles and walks past her up to the main house. Vicky smiles. Wayne Manor, patio, sundown, a broad patio behind the manor looking out onto this estate. Bruce and Vicky arrive from the stables. Alfred appears with a bottle of champagne, smiles sweetly at Vicky, then disappears. Bruce pops the cork unhandily.
The Historical Society called to remind you of the banquet. Should I say you'll be there?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be there.
Alfred starts to walk away. Bruce thinks.
Alfred, which society?
Historical.
Oh, yeah, right, yes.
Alfred exits.
That Alfred's great.
I can't find my socks without him. Been with the family since I was born.
Born, he tries unsuccessfully to stifle a yawn.
Am I keeping you up?
I'm sorry, I've got a lot going on at the moment.
Like who?
No, just business. I'll be honest with you. I bore myself silly. Tell me. I bore myself silly. Tell me about you.
I take pictures, and I love doing it. I feel naked without a camera.
Well, we better get you one. Go on.
I've been floating around for a while doing fashion. It was all right. I don't know. Things change. How old are you?
Just turned 35.
You've probably had it happen too, you know? You wake up one morning and say, hey, this is who I am. I see things through cameras, all kinds of things. Not just long legs or great skirts, but things, you know?
I'm not sure.
Well, I just packed up and left.
What did you see?
A lot of hotels, a little terror, a little love once in a blue moon.
A little terror, a lot of love.
It's out there. I was never in the right place, I guess.
Bruce looks around at his opulent estate, falls silent.
You're a little elusive, Mr. Wayne. I feel like there's a lot going on in there.
Oh, not really.
Come on, say what you're thinking.
I was just thinking how beautiful you looked on that horse. and that it's kind of nice to have someone here who notices things.
She finds herself irrevocably drawn in.
See, I do have an extraordinary eye.
2.
The Wayne Manor at night, a vast, darkened entry hall framed by long, semicircular stairways on either side. Bruce and Vicky enter. She's giddy.
I feel like I'm in Paris in the 30s. Is this fair? I'm half drunk and you're not even.
2 drinks and I'm flying.
Vicky smiles. They stare into each other's eyes for a moment on the verge of kissing. He's struggling with something. She touches him.
Why are you afraid of flying?
He steps towards her and they begin a kiss, which turns to a passionate embrace. A flash of lightning transports us to an office building at night. Broken windows, graffiti on the walls, blood and bandages. The patient sits erect in a wooden chair surrounded by the grimy paraphernalia of an unlicensed gangland doctor. The doctor, a nervous little ferret, steps up with a pair of scissors.
Well, let's see how we did.
He begins to slip away. As bandages come off, we get Jack Napier's point of view. The last strands of gauze peel back. The doctor stands there, looking at his handiwork. His mouth falls open. His eyes bug out. He gasps. Mirror. The doctor just stands there, staring at camera, stock still. Apparently, he's transfixed by the sight of Jack's face. Mirror! Angle on doctor. He clears his throat, reaches apprehensively for a hand mirror, and passes it out of frame to Jack. We hear a gasp and a sob. 2 beats, and the sound of glass shattering at the mirror drops to the floor. The doctor gulps hard.
You understand the nerves were completely severed, Mr. Napier.
Jack begins to laugh. The doctor turns uneasily away, gestures apologetically at his seedy equipment.
You see what I had to work with here.
More laughter. The trembling doctor covers his face with one hand, whining now, not daring to look at Jack.
I'm sure with proper reconstructive surgery.
The door slams. Jack is gone. The grateful doctor breathes a sigh of relief and steadies himself on an operating table as Jack's awful laugh echoes in the hall outside.
What's so funny?
Bruce Wayne's bedroom at night. Vicky is asleep. Camera pans to Bruce lying next to her. He's silently looking at the cascade of her hair on the pillow. He watches her face perplexed. Grandfather Pot plays. He checks his watch, stands up, and looks up out window. He's constrained. He stretches impatiently. On a clock face, time has passed. Pan to Vicky, sleeping. A rhythmic sound. She stirs up and wakes. Camera pans to see Bruce upside down, slightly swaying in inversion boots. At Grissom's penthouse at night, the private elevator hisses open. Jack steps out, bundled up in a trench coat, muffler, and slouch hat. His massive concealed from view. He plops in the big plush swivel chair behind Grissom's desk.
That you, Sugar Bumps?
Grissom waddles in, fresh out of the shower, a towel wrapped around him, using a smaller towel to dry his hair. It's a moment before he sees the bundle of figure at his desk.
Who the hell are you?
It's me, Sugar Bumps.
Jack. Thank God you're alive. I heard you'd been.
Pride? Is that what you heard? Jack stands and gestures him over to the empty chair. Grissom moves on when he sees the gun pointing at his belly. You set me up over a woman. Woman! You must be insane. Grissom surreptitiously reaches for a desk drawer. Don't bother.
Your life won't be worth spit.
I've been dead once already. It's very liberating. You have to think of it as everything.
Jack, listen, we'll cut a deal.
Jack's dead, my friend. You could call me Joker. He flings away the hat, rips the muffler from his face, and as Grissom gasps in shock, stands revealed in his fully hornless glory. His flesh is bleached bone white, his hair as luminous as seaweed green, and his cheeks are torn and puckered from the bullet wound, twisting his mouth into a hideous perpetual harlequin grin. And as you can see, Jack begins to giggle, building to hysterical laughter. Grissom makes a lunge towards his desk drawer. Jack fires and fires again until the clip is empty. Grissom's building at night. He tilts up the facade of the skyscraper, arriving finally at the top floor. A plate glass window, spider web with cracks where Jack's bullets hit. The Grissom's penthouse at night, darkness, Jack, or as you'll know him from this moment, the Joker, sits in Grissom's swivel chair and surveys the moon-drenched city. Gotham City always brings a smile to my face. As he swivels in the chair, he notices a copy of the Globe, now blood-spattered, lying on Grissom's desk. The headline catches his eye. Wing Freak terrorizes Gotham's gangland. He picks up the paper and starts humming. Wing Freak terrorizes. Wait till we get a load. At Bruce Wayne's bedroom, Bruce is asleep, his legs over the back of a chaise lounge. Vicky is dressing alert.
Bruce, I'm late, but I've got a proposition.
Bruce sits up warily.
I'll make us lunch tomorrow at my apartment. I'll show you some of my photos. Will you come?
He's stretching, a hesitation flashing in his eyes.
Sure. Oh, no, I can't make it.
Vicky stops brushing her hair, checks out his vibes.
Oh, is anything wrong?
No, I've got a real important meeting.
Well, later in the day?
No, I've got to leave town for a few days.
Vicky wonders, but continues.
Well, when you get back.
Bruce thinks, no answer, not wanting too much vulnerability herself. She lightens it up.
Hey, I've got to get moving. See you.
She pecks him on the cheek and breezes by him.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Door shuts, Bruce thinks. In the hallway on Alfred, Alfred shows her out the door.
So nice to see you again, Miss Vale.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you when you guys get back.
Back, ma'am? We're here for quite a while, I believe.
Oh, never mind. See you.
But she noticed and heard a little. Bruce was lying. Alicia's apartment. Alicia, with an armload of dress bags, enters and is startled by a voice from behind. Honey? She pivots, her eyes wide, she shrieks. Sitting cross-legged in an easy chair is the Joker. He's in a smoking jacket and slippers, reading the paper, a dry martini at his side. You wouldn't believe what happened to me today. Alicia faints. Penthouse suite at night. Gang lords stare at the Joker at the head of the table. So, that's how it is, gentlemen, until Grissom resurfaces. I'm the acting president, and I say we start with this anniversary festival and run this to the ground. Joker's dressed in a big slouch hat. His face is layered with flesh-toned makeup, and his hair is been rinsed black. But he can't conceal his goulish smile. Vinny Ricorso is the smartest of the bunch. He doesn't believe Joker for a minute.
Why don't we hear this from Grissom?
Yeah, and what's with that stupid grin?
Life's been good to me. Oh, Rotelli.
Oh, sorry. What if we say no?
Nobody wants a war, Carmine. If we can't do business, we shake hands and that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Rotelli stands up and extends a hand. Joker shakes. A droid buzzes concealed in Joker's palm. 40,000 volts course through Rotelli's body. He drops back into his seat, a blackened puff smoke pouring out from his sleeves and shirt collar. A squad of armed thugs burst in the room. These thugs have all been specially selected and distinctly styled by the Joker. Bob's now Joker's number 2 man, staying close to him. Carmine got a little hot under the collar. Joker begins to laugh at his own joke.
You're insane.
Haven't you heard of the healing power of laughter? He begins to laugh again, removes his hat, and mops sweat from his brow, exposing a patch of chalk-like flesh to the bewilderment of the onlookers. Now get out of here and give us some talks. Gangsters are escorted out by the Joker's thugs. Joker grabs a copy of the Globe. Bob, I want you to take a camera and follow the reporter Knox. Find out what he knows about Batman. You got to learn to use people, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Bob exits, and Bob, remember, you are my number 1. God. Bob exits, leaving the Joker alone with the charred corpse Rotelli. The Joker addresses the body. Hells, that's such bad people. What do you say we give him a couple of days? No? Release him now. You're a vicious bastard, Italian. I'm glad you're dead. Vicky looks through filing newspaper more. Vicky looks through filing cabinets. She's intense over her shoulder. A file appears with Bruce Wayne on it. Knox has it.
I'm looking for that.
She grabs it and looks through the very thin file.
I thought we were a team here. I'm losing confidence in you going out with this weirdo.
Speaking strictly professionally, right? This wouldn't be a personal issue for you, would it?
I just want you to do your job.
I am doing my job.
Me too. I'm protecting my partner. The guy collects weird weapons in Japan, probably roller skates through the female population like a bulldozer.
Where does it say that, Knox? There's nothing in this file but social puffery. No photos, no history, nothing. That's strange. Where does he get all his money? What's he do all day? Who is he?
He tosses the file on the floor angrily, exits.
Who cares?
Wayne Manor, in the morning, Vicky in a car in a block from the manor. She looks through her telephone lens. After a few beats, Bruce Wayne emerges from the gates and walking. He's dressed incognito. He carries a package. Vicky follows him. The camera follows after through Gotham streets. As Bruce walks through the city, he puts on sunglasses and seems interested in not being seen. Vicky follows along at a distance. The neighborhood is now bad. Few people are around. Bruce enters a blind alley. Vicky steals up to the corner to see what he's doing. Bruce looks at the trash scattered alley. He looks up at the sky, then down at the corner. He kicks away a Coke can, cleans off a spat on Vicky. Puzzled, she raises her camera. Bruce unwraps a package. Vicky strains to see what he's holding. Bruce removes a bit and reveals 2 long-stemmed roses. Vicky raises camera and softly clicks the shutter. Bruce kneels and places the roses as if at a shrine. He holds his hands on his eyes for a beat. Vicky looks and clicks again. What is he doing? Bruce stands and kicks the can back out toward the street. He heads out the alley. Where's Vicky? When he passes by where she was, he's gone. Another street, Bruce walks down the broad street which leads into the city square. Vicky follows at a distance. Bruce enters the city square. A painted street mime walks alongside him, feeling his way along an imaginary wall. He's not very good at it, and in spite of his heavy makeup, you can tell that he's rather ugly. A commotion catches Bruce's eye. He steps back to the edge of the gathered crowd. See all that moment. The Corso, the crime lord from the boardroom, emerges flanked by a lawyer and a pair of bodyguards. They're met by a group of reporters, including Knox. Vicky peers around looking for Bruce, can't see him.
So, what is this affidavit you filed? Grissom give you all his business?
Mr. Grissom asked me, as a personal favor, to take over the operation of his business until he returned.
Jeez, it's a pretty big gift. You must have been very close. You do a little time together as children?
Corso sneers, others laugh.
I smell fresh ink, guys. I'm sure you can prove all this. Why am I asking? Of course you can.
Vicky getting closer. Bruce something red catches Bruce's eye. A half dozen street mimes converging on the scene. Something is very wrong. These are Joker's men. Vicky arrives next to Knox. Bob taking photos of Knox to the crowd on a lawyer. We have witnesses. Grissom's signature is perfectly legitimate. It is legitimate. I saw him. I was there. Crowd parts as a large mime steps up to Recorso. Recorso frowns. I saw it all. He raised his dead hand and signed the paper in his own blood. And he did it. With his pen. Mime pulls out a ridiculously long quill pen. Recorso gapes in puzzlement at him. And underneath the white skull cap is the Joker. Hello, Vicky. It's me, your Uncle Bingo. Time to check. Joker hurls a sharp tin pin right into Recorso's throat. Recorso falls, clutching his throat. Someone screams. Reporters scatter. The mime fires machine guns in the air. Vicky dives behind a parked car. She looks back to see Bruce standing frozen, rooted to the ground. He's watching, transfixed. Mayhem prevails. Bruce is still frozen to the spot and exposed to the mines. A few feet away, Vicky crouches behind the car and beckons to him.
Bruce, get down!
He totally ignores her and begins to walk, first slowly, then faster, right toward the Joker. Bodyguards and the Joker, he laughs at the den and walks as if immortal through the mayhem. He never sees Bruce. Bruce walking the same way, still a distance from Joker, but his recognition of him is growing. Joker reaches his car. Driver rushes to get him out of there. Bruce now gets close enough to see Joker's face through the window. Joker's car speeds away past him. Other cars containing other mimes speed away too as silence descends on the sounds of crying and ebbing fear. Bruce stands looking after Joker. Suddenly, Vicky is there.
Bruce?
No answer. He hardly seems to notice she is there. Bruce turns to her, sweat pouring down his face, looks right into her eyes. She looks at him and sees the signs of deep trauma in his eyes.
I'm sorry, Vicky.
He turns and disappears into the crowd.
Bruce!
Television screen, a TV crew broadcasting live from the massacre site. The minicam angle widens to include Harvey Dent and the mayor. The anchor woman thrust a mic in the mayor's face.
Does this gang war dampen the city's plan for the 200th anniversary festival?
The festival opens. The police are going to stop these gangsters.
Mr. Dent, what do you think of the theory that the mysterious Batman is a mob enforcer killing these men?
Suddenly, there's a terrific scream of rage from on-screen. The TV screen shatters. Joker's boardroom. The camera pulls back from smashed and smoking TV, placing us in Joker's boardroom. Joker in his swivel chair, holding an extendable retractable pincer on the end, which is a block boxing glove, making a fist. By squeezing the handle of this, he was punched by the fist to the TV screen. Bob enters. Batman. Batman! Can somebody please tell me what kind of world we live in where a man dressed as Bat gets my airtime? This city needs enema. He storms out of the office into Axis Chemical Company today, low angle on the Joker. He rushes along the catwalk high above the refinery floor. He passes a couple of ugly, criminally hand-in-mind scientists in white coats holding sheets of calculations. We shipped 1 million of those things.
Yes, sir.
Ship it all. Untangle the knots. Roll the wheels. I got my blood up. The scientists look at each other and rush into action. Joker bangs open the door to the Joker's lair. A dank, windowless room in bowels of Axis Chemical. Joker is humming insanely. The camera travels past collages of photographs, each photograph cut from scenes of war. The camera continues down a stack of folders. On one document are initial CIA. On the front of the folder can be read DDID nerve gas, results of preliminary experimentation, and stamped across it, discontinued 1977. Finally, we see the photos of dead soldiers, lips drawn back in chemical-induced grimaces. Losing is a bad habit, Bob. So much to do and so little time. Bob steals in and offers some photographs.
Here's the photos.
Joker looks them over. 10 on photos. Joker self-withdrew, stops on Knox. Who's this lost?
That's Knox.
That's on a photo of Vicky with Knox. Stop the press. Who is that?
That's Vicky Vale. She's the photographer working with Knox.
Grand Joker licking his lips, looking Vicky up and down. That woman has style. Jesus, a lovely beast like that could get a man up and running. Joker, excitedly humming away, begins to cut Vicky's picture out of utters, leaving a border around her. He then fills in border with crayon.
She's been dating some guy named Wayne.
She's got to trade up. Damn, it's hard to stay inside the lines. Joker paces Vicky's picture onto a board. I'm gonna get me a new girl, Bobby. The camera pulls back to reveal that the Joker is surrounded wall to wall by collage pictures of war and destruction. The huge collage forms a bird's eye view map of Gotham. I've got a mind to make some mayhem. Phone book. Wayne Manor, Bruce's study. Alfred uses a feather duster. Bruce enters, obviously distraught and exhausted. Very concerned, Alfred takes his coat and hands Bruce a hot towel. Bruce wipes his hands. Miss Vale called. Miss Rabbit. Oh, sorry.
Miss Vale called. She was rather concerned. I've noticed that there's a certain weight that lifts when she's here.
Why don't you marry her, Alfred?
That's not exactly what I had in mind, sir.
I can't go on with that, Alfred. Napier's alive. He's running Grissom's men. I got to find out everything the police have on him.
Yes, sir.
She's good, isn't she?
Bruce smiles. Alfred smiles sadly, too. At Vicky's apartment a day, puzzled, Vicky looks at her photos of Bruce and his flowers. On several photos of Bruce along this puzzling route. Vicky dials Knox.
Allie, I want you to come check something for me, okay? Find out what's so special about the alley at Pearl and Phillips Street. Bye.
She hangs up, look at the photos.
What's up with you, Mr. Wayne?
All right. Okay. Guys, this is the part where I think we should take an intermission. So we'll take about 5 minutes if you want to get some water or use a restroom. About 5 minutes, we'll be back. All right.
Cool.
Yo, we're still live. Is that?
You're me.
Should we go off live?
You're me.
I think the intermission is just as important to watch.
You have to know what we're doing.
Play the music. Play the Danny Elfman Batman.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the
lobby. Let's all go. Let's take a quick break to do You've Got Mail. There's a hot dog talking. You need silence when there's a hot dog talking? Greg Kinnear.
Wait. Oh, now like Blue's Clues, You've Got Mail?
That's what I was thinking.
No, like Tom Hanks, You've Got Mail.
We just got
Like,
some mail. We just got some mail. We just got some mail. Let's see who it's from.
It's from Tom Hanks.
This is one for my aunt Dee.
It's from the House of the Treasury.
She's great. Here's a save the date. Because they picked September.
Who's getting married?
My friends. But they picked September, and we were thinking September, that's so far away. But now it makes so much sense.
It's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
Were they photographed by Vicky Vale?
I think so. Vicky Vale, she does wedding proposals. She does wedding save the dates. She'll be at your wedding. She just might be a little tipsy. She's not known for that though.
Are you officiating the wedding?
Yes. No.
Ooh.
But I have before.
I know. That's why I asked.
You remember?
No, I stalk you on Instagram quite a bit.
Oh, stop!
What? Did I just say that out loud?
Aw, Zach, I miss you.
So cute.
It's live too. Oh man.
This is just gonna be for, I don't know, whoever's watching right now or who's ever gonna be watching this in a few years.
Yeah, it's like, when we look back in the dark times.
The Dark Knight times?
God,
where did that come from?
Who invited Bruce?
Executive producers, David Crane.
Bruce Wayne is the Ross of the Justice League.
Wow, really?
Exactly.
It's not a bad thing. He's still the main character.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, 6-1.
Underappreciated.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that Ross is underappreciated or?
Yes. I'm saying Ross is underappreciated.
People talk a
I'm
lot.
not saying he's my favorite. I'm just saying he's underappreciated.
I wonder if anybody's watching this right now and like they have the same script we do and they're like, where's this in the script?
Right? They just tune in randomly and they're like, this is not Batman.
No, this is Batman 1.5 with Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah.
Africa.
I wonder what the first draft looked like.
Did not have the right script when we started.
It was close enough. You're following.
Yeah, like you still knew what was going on and you said like the line in the movie.
Which was better.
Since we've been reading these scripts, I love that they keep cutting like the scenes that were pretty misogynistic and were crap.
I'm sorry, but we could really use the horse scene. I don't know what.
No,
Tim
we
would-
couldn't. Remember in Ghostbusters?
That's how Sean Young got hurt.
They should have kept the line horse scene, but I understand why they cut the horse out. I mean, that's how Sean Young got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
If they're not experts, they need to not be messing around with that.
Yeah, Sean Young kept getting screwed over because she wanted to be Catwoman. And the second one, she like came on the lot like dressed like Catwoman.
Yeah, she stalked
And Tim Burton was like scared and like get her out of here. She got
Curtis.
twice.
Hey Curtis, do you want somebody else to read the stuff so that you could be Joker?
You're gonna get a lot more lines now, dude.
Yeah, like George or Clinton or Zach who haven't been able to.
Or Aaron wants to volunteer.
I could do more.
When you got this, man.
You want to do
Because Curtis, you're amazing at Joker, and I want to hear it, you know.
Yeah.
But
are we talking about narration?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Ooh, I might have to put my mic on now.
It's up to Curtis. It's up to Curtis.
Lynn, do you want to do the narration from here on out?
I'm down, man.
You're really good with taking over from Jack on Ghostbusters. You're great at it.
Thank you. I do like doing the reading. I used to do it in school because I thought if I didn't read it, I'd probably fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can get the full effect of Curtis's Joker, which
Yeah.
is already top notch.
Yeah.
More time to laugh.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You've got a great laugh. Keep it up.
Yes. We're thinking of laugh and then all
Okay,
this
we're not,
stuff.
we're not starting now. Just to get everyone on the same page, we're at where it says, when Vicky says what's up with you, Mr. Rain, and phone rings, she picks it up. All right. So
Miss Lane.
all right, everyone's here. We're
Where
back.
is it?
We're good. We're set. Okay.
Where are we at?
We're at
Batman.
Yeah, we're at after when Vicky says what's up with you, Mr. Wayne, phone rings, she picks it up.
Oh, wait. There we go.
All right, everyone on the same page? Okay. And then Tony
Hold
speaks.
on. Oh, found it. Yeah, good.
Vicky, this is Tony. We have a session scheduled and the client insists that you shoot it.
Me, Tony, I'm kind of busy.
The client says he has information about Batman.
Vicky puzzles. Choose her lip.
Batman. When's the session?
This afternoon at 3 o'clock.
All right, I'll be there.
She hangs up and thinks. Interior photographer's studio day. Rows of makeup is startling profusion. Mascara, blusher, eyeliner, lipstick. Beautiful models giggle into their makeup mirrors as Vicky wanders past. In a corner of the studio, Tony, a gaunt, tubercular British art director, is dressing a swimsuit layout with two supermodels. They all ad-lib greetings to Vicky.
Come on, girls. Magic Vicky is here. Shine it. Think of the money. That's it.
Vicky gets out of camera.
Tony, who is this client who knows about Batman?
Never met him. All I know is he pays cash.
What's his name?
Mr. Kerr.
Mr. Kerr? What's his first name?
Joseph. Joe Kerr.
A look of fear comes over Vicky's face. As Vicky looks on, the supermodels freeze in place simultaneously, a strange stricken look on their faces.
Jesus, hurry up. Vicky's expensive. Show her some bones.
Suddenly, the girls are laughing, but the laughter is unnatural. Involuntarily, someone laugh weird, people. Vicky, sensing that something is terribly wrong, lays a hand on Tony's arm. The models, now wearing huge smiles, go into violent spasms.
Is this some sort of joke? Oh my God!
The supermodels pitch to the floor, shuddering convulsively, their lips drawn back in frightful, frozen, chemical warfare type grins. Vicky gasps. Cut to interior television studio evening. The action news set with anchors Becky Narita and Peter McElroy.
The fashion world is stunned today by the sudden deaths of models Candy Walker and Amanda Keeler. Cause of death has been attributed to the violent allergic reaction, although authorities have not ruled out the possibility of drug use. Peter?
And plans continue for the city's 200th birthday as Mayor Borg announces the unveiling of a statue of John T. Gotham, Gotham's founder.
A technician's hand passes a slip of paper into frame.
This is just in 3 mysterious deaths at a beauty parlor in...
Off to the left, Becky begins to laugh. Peter frowns. An overshot crash. Peter jumps out of his seat, mouth agape in horror. Becky has gone into convulsions. Camera whips right and left as she jerks out of her seat and totters uncontrollably across the set, laughing insanely. Technicians rush the soundstage in a frenzy. Becky spins like a dervish and lurches backward over the news desk in a death spasm, giving us a quick look at the grisly Joker's grin etched on her now lifeless face.
Kill the camera! Kill the...
Suddenly, crackling video static wipes out the screen. A moment later, we're looking at split screen close up the supermodels. Their gorgeous faces sprout big, animated cartoon grins as a bouncy tune, Put on a Happy Face, comes up underneath.
Love that Joker.
Interior supermarket's day. That was great. Music continues as a deranged pitchman, the Joker, pushes his shopping cart down the aisle. He waves merrily in time to the music. Interior studio, video control booth, that moment. Technicians swarm the booth. The studio feed has been jammed. Every monitor shows the Joker's promo.
Where's it coming from?
I don't know.
Close up the Joker. He thrusts a brightly colored package at the camera.
New improved Joker brand with my secret sauce, Smilix. Let's go to our blind taste test.
Tight on anonymous man. Gagged and blindfolded, tied to his chair, squirming, struggling. On the table before him in a package labeled Brand X. A superimposed title reads, "Not an actor."
Oh, he's not happy. He's been using Brand X. But with new Joker, improved Joker brand.
Angle widens to include a blindfolded corpse limp in his chair, grinning horrifically.
I did grin again and again.
Interior Gotham bedroom that moment. A young man watching TV as he dresses for a date. He's got an aerosol deodorant posed under one arm. He looks down at the can, suddenly uncertain. Could it be? Insert TV screen, the Joker, lounging beside a full-size photo of a Joker-sized swimsuit model with green hair and chalk white flesh.
That luscious tan, those ruby lips, and hair color so natural, only your Undertaker knows for sure.
Interior Gotham kitchen that moment. A family in their kitchen, eyeing a 12-inch portable as mom serves dinner. They dig in automatically, then freeze with their forks in midair. Exterior street, series of shots, night. Delivery trucks bearing colorful manufacturers' logos drive through the city, bringing tainted products to market.
I know what you're saying. Where can I buy these fine new items? Well, that's the deal. Folks, chances are you bought already.
Interior Wayne Manor, study night. Bruce, tired, is glued to the tube. On screen, the Joker leers, gives the camera a big, juicy wink.
So if you did, remember, put on a happy face. Joker brand reaching the face of Gotham.
Music up. Video snow fills the screens as the jammed transmission ends. Alfred enters, adds something to the folder in front of Bruce. Bruce reads.
Assault with deadly weapon, age 15. Nice guy. Psychological testing, high intelligence, unstable, aptitude science, chemistry, and art? Chemistry?
On Bruce, he looks at a photo of Napier.
Let's go shopping, Alfred.
Series of shots, the Gotham Globe cartwheeling into frame.
Oh, these are just newspaper headlines.
Oh, contaminated products claim 13 lives. Who is the mysterious Joker? An anchor woman on the evening news. Her complexation is curiously sallow. Black bags show under her eyes.
6 new deaths with no clues as to Joker's deadly weapon.
An anchor man with a big, ugly zit on his nose. And what is the pattern? Foods, alcohol, or beauty and hygiene products, cologne, mouthwash, underarm deodorant? The original anchorwoman, whose look is now 100% natural. Her hair is frizzy. Her eyebrows are missing altogether. Every wrinkle on her face is plainly visible.
Or worse yet, there may be no pattern. The search goes on through Gotham's shopping nightmare.
Interior Dent's office day. The mayor is distraught. Dent is on the phone.
I swear, we're having this festival if I have to get a shotgun and get there people myself.
Dent hangs up.
Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth, Dent? The festival is on. You find out what this madman is poisoning us with, and fast. Do I make myself clear?
Mayor catches a glimpse of himself in the mirror. Checks to see that his mouth isn't grimacing.
We're working on it.
Interior armory day. Alfred oils a blowgun. Bruce enters.
Oh, sir, did you see the message from Miss Vale? She'll be 10 minutes late in meeting you at the museum.
Bruce puzzles.
I'm not meeting her.
Interior Alicia Hunt's apartment that moment. A bone-white hand pats a white cheek. The Joker's rinsed his hair black and is applying makeup. He's done it before many times. He's getting ready for a date. A drugged voice intrudes.
Jack, where are you going?
As he looks up the mirror, we get a quick glimpse of Alicia. Her face is covered by a shiny white porcelain doll's mask.
Yeah, if you're going to make some art, darling.
Interior Flugelheim Museum night. A few patrons are viewing paintings in a square, open atrium, enclosed on all four sides by a balcony. One story up, overlooking the atrium, there's a tea room, an airy, fern-filled dining room popular with tourists. Interior tea room. Vicky enters with her camera bag and portfolio, ready for a confrontation with Bruce.
I'm Vicky Vale. I had a message to meet Bruce Wayne here.
Yes, he has not arrived. We have a table waiting.
Interior tea room night. 20 minutes later, Vicky's sipping on a gin and tonic, checks her watch. A waiter brings her a small parcel wrapped in brown paper bearing a single word, urgent.
Miss Vale, this just arrived for you.
As the waiter leaves, she tears off the wrapper. Inside is a small white box and a note scribbled in crayon. Put this on right now. Vicky opens up the box to find a miniature gas mask, a strange hissing noise. A few feet away, purple smoke billows from air conditioning vent. Trays of food crash to the floor as waiters pass out. Art lovers drop forks, go face down in their pasta salad. Vicky hurriedly fits the gas mask over her nose and mouth. Within seconds, she's the only one conscious in the room. Interior Museum atrium. At that moment, purple smoke plumes up as we tilt down toward the floor of the atrium. Patrons lie sprawled on the floor, twisted at odd angles, out cold. The doors burst open, and in walks Joker, looking dapper in his street makeup and his big purple pop artist's hat. He is surrounded by his entourage of ugly goons. One is carrying a huge ghetto blaster, which is thumping out music. Others are toting bottles of champagne, and all have cans of aerosol paint sticking out of their packets. This is a moving nonstop party. The Joker wanders past the artwork, examining it with an appreciative eye.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Stepping over collapsed patrons with the Prince music cranking up, he stops at Blue Boy and holds up a pearl-handled cane to get a better perspective. Then he pulls a thin, sharp sword from the head of the cane and carves a big Joker smile in the canvas. Manet's Barmet, a Douglas ballerina, all get the Zorro treatment. Behind him, his ugly cronies go to work, spraying paint in every canvas the Joker has missed. He cocks an eyebrow at Edvard Munch's The Scream.
I kind of like this one. Leave it.
Moments later, Vicky at her table, still wearing the gas mask, scared as hell. The Joker saunters over and pulls up a chair. He is flanked by two ugly henchmen, one carrying a pair of candlesticks, the other the ghetto blaster.
Huh?
Joker.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. I think it's safe to take that off.
As Vicky, terrified, removes the gas mask, the Joker signals to the two ugly goons who swiftly place the ghetto blaster and candlesticks on the table and exit. The Joker reaches for his lighter and switches on the ghetto blaster, which produces romantic music. A long jet of flame shoots out of the lighter as he lights the candles.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm an old-fashioned sort of way. I'm sure we can make you more today.
The Joker moves his chair a little closer to Vicky.
This is your portfolio.
Yes, I'm meeting a friend who wanted to see my work.
He leaps through magazine covers of celebrities, heads of state, and exotic vistas.
Crap. Now here's good work.
The combat photos from Corto Maltese.
The skulls, the bodies, give him such a glow. I don't know if it's art, but I like it.
Vicky is squirming, but she doesn't care to argue with him.
Let me tell you what I've got in mind, sweetie. I was in a bathtub one day when I realized why I was destined for greatness. You know how concerned most people are about appearances. This is pretty, that is not. Well, that's all over for me. Crime, the passion's ripping fully. Now I do what others only dream of. I do art till somebody dies. See? I'm the world's first fully functioning homicidal artist.
What do you want?
My face on the $1 bill.
Good goal. I take it you're joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
As quickly as he has flared into rage, the Joker calms down again.
Look, we mustn't mistake ourselves for regular people. We're artists. For instance, let me challenge you with a little P-sided. Bob, Alicia.
He oozes twisted charm. He's coming on to her.
You'll make a pictorial record of my work. You'll be with me in the avant-garde.
Jack.
Alicia wanders in, drugged, wraith-like. She's still wearing the porcelain doll's mask we saw earlier.
You said I could watch you improve the paintings.
I'm in trouble now.
Vicky can't take her eyes off this strange figure.
Why is she wearing a mask?
Well, she's just a sketch, really. Alicia, come here, have a seat. Show the nice lady why you wear a mask.
Alicia sits down numbly and begins to undo the mask.
You see, Miss Vale, Alicia's been made over in line with my new philosophy. Now, like me, she's a living work of art.
We're looking at Alicia's profile as the mask comes off. The side that's turned to us is indeed beautiful, but the side we can't see sends Vicky right over the edge. Vicky lurches out of her seat, knocking it over, her face frozen in horror.
I'm no Picasso, but you like it.
Vicky tips a chair in his path. Horrified, she tries to placate him.
It's great, but what can I do for you?
A little song, a little dance. Batman's head up on the lance. Tell me, what do you know about?
He makes a flapping with his hands indicating Batman.
I don't know anything about Batman.
Well, I think about a little.
I think you're insane.
I am? I thought I was a Pisces. Come on, let's make up. Here's a flower.
There's a bright purple boutonniere in his lapel. He holds it up for Vicky's inspection as he moves menacingly closer.
No!
The Joker squeezes a concealed bulb. A jet of clear liquid spurts out of the flower, narrowly missing Vicky. She gasps, bumps into a table. Acrid black smoke rises from the floor where this clear liquid hit. Acid. Vicky backs into a waiter's cart. Her hand closes around a pitcher. She flings it at the Joker's head, dousing his face with water. His hands go up and he doubles over, shrieking, makeup running through his fingers and onto his suit. We see his white face.
Oh no!
Vicky is appalled. She moves towards him. Her instinct, in spite of everything, is to help him in his suffering. As she gets close to him and extends a hand, he leaps up abruptly, taking his hands from his melting face, exposing the hideous, ravaged mess beneath the makeup. He advances on Vicky, and then suddenly a skylight shatters. A caped shadow drops to the floor to the tea room, and all of at once the Joker finds himself face to face with Batman. On Batman's wrist is a steel gauntlet. He aims it at the Joker. The Joker stiffens, thinking he's about to be shot. The Batman then fires the gauntlet, the barrel of which splits in two before sending two metal spikes on wires in opposite directions, either side of the Joker. The metal spikes embed themselves in walls on both sides of the atrium, creating an escape wire for the Batman. In the wink of an eye, he grabs Vicky and plunges over the balcony, leaving the Joker stunned with amazement. At that moment, the Joker's ugly goons can only gape in awe as Batman and Vicky swoop past, swinging across the floor and straight through an arched doorway labeled Exit.
Word is to get those wonderful toys. Oh, just don't stand there. Go and ask them.
The goons charge off. Exterior Flugelheim night, moments later. A sign on a black metal stand, closed for the day, hurtles through the glass doors. Batman and Vicky hurtle through. He points her to a side alley. Batman lobs a smoke pellet into the doorway of the Flugelheim.
Get in the car.
Which car?
Vicky suddenly feels quite stupid, because while there are many cars parked along the side alleyway, there is only one Batmobile.
Oh.
The Batmobile is sleek, you see, futuristic, and, well, indescribable. Vicky climbs in and is dazzled by a stunning array of electronic gadgetry.
Ignition.
As he sprints down the alley, a computer display on the dashboard registers his unique voice print. A tiny synthesized voice repeats the command. Ignition. The engines are revving up as Batman vaults in. Joker's goons stumble, hacking, coughing, blinded by smoke. They scatter as the Batmobile barrels out of the alleyway. Choking goons climb into their van and 2 cars. Exterior street moments later. The Batmobile disappears around a corner in a cloud of dust. Pedestrians scatter as the Joker's 2 goon cars swerve hard left and barrel through a crowded intersection. Batmobile approaches intersection at high speed. The right side indicator begins to flash. It seems incredible that at this velocity, Batman should think it possible to make a right angle turn. As the Batmobile draws level with the corner, a spike with a wire attached to it rockets out of the side of the vehicle and embeds itself in a wall. This enables the Batmobile to turn the corner without slowing down or spinning off across the intersection. Having completed the turn, the wire separates from the car, which continues without losing speed. Onlookers gawk as the sleek supercar rips up the pavement.
Damn.
Into a blind alleyway. Batmobile doesn't slow down. Batmobile spins on its axis 180 degrees and goes back where it came from. Batmobile moving up on an empty block, a night construction team. A huge piece of heavy machinery backs up slowly and inexorably, blocking this intersection. Batman guns the engine, swerves left, tries to glide past, and hits the brakes, stopping inches short of a head-on collision with the lamppost. He jumps out of the car, no chance to get through. Onlookers and construction workers cluster around them. The Joker's van is 2 blocks back and coming up fast.
Can't we?
Too many people. Come on. Shields.
The Batmobile's computerized voice replies, "Shields." With a series of clanks, chrome steel plates slide into place across the cockpit over the tires, leaving the Batmobile an inert, impenetrable block of black metal. Batman and Vicky vault over construction debris. Interior van moving night. 3 police cars bumbles blazing, overtaking the Joker's van and bear down on the abandoned Batmobile. The Joker's van does a U-turn and rumbles sedately off. Batman and Vicky zigzag past storefronts and candy stands. 4 goons with guns. They spot Batman and Vicky coming off the side street. The driver shouts into a radio,
"We got him!"
Batman and Vicky race down the sidewalk. The car is gaining on them. A sudden spray of bullets shatter a storefront. Batman's POV. We see a ragamuffin little girl play walking her doll around the corner. She rushes and slides on the street, pulling the girl out of the way of a hail of bullets. She is wide-eyed. She holds up the dolly for Batman to see.
Is it Halloween?
Batman smiles and rushes back to pick up Vicky from behind a parked car. The goons drive by again. Batman and Vicky run into a blind alley. They watch the goons glide past the mouth of the alley. Batman looks up 5 stories, sees a catwalk.
How much do you weigh?
108?
He's doing some quick mental calculations when the car reappears, backing up, blocking their only avenue of escape. Galvanized, Batman unfurls a rope, heaves a batarang upward, and grabs Vicky roughly around the waist.
Hang on.
Thugs pile out of the car. The batarang catches onto the catwalk, and Batman triggers the spring action reel on his utility belt. Bullets zing past as Batman and Vicky whip upward like fish on a line. 1 story, 2 stories, and then they slow. They stop. They dangle in midair as Joker goons advance. Batman wriggles, twists. Vicky screams. Her additional weight is too much for the real mechanisms, and that's because she didn't tell him the right weight, so that messed it up. They're stranded sitting ducks.
Whatever happens, don't let go.
He's detached the reel from his waist and hitched it around Vicky's belt. He let go. Vicky rockets upward at blinding speed, shrieking all the way. Batman, his cape billowing, plummets downward. Vicky slams up into the catwalk and bobs on the line as Batman lands with a loud crash, overturning a roar of garbage cans. The goons are on him in a flash. Batman manages to slam 2 goons into a wall, but before he can get to his feet, Goon 3 slams a lead pipe into the back of his skull. Thugs circle around him. They shoot him. The thug and fires 2 shots point blank at the yellow and black insignia on Batman's chest. The body jerks. They edge closer and stop.
No blood.
Jesus, who is it? Check his wallet.
Wait a minute.
Goon 3 screws up his courage and crouches beside the body. He examines the Batman's tunic.
What is that?
What kind of body on him?
He's human after all. Take the mask off.
Rooftop on Vicky. Vicky has pulled herself up onto a roof. Down below, the thugs are removing Batman 5 cowl. But at this height and his angle, she can't see his face. She reaches for her camera bag. Engel and goons, gaping at the shadowed, unconscious face of Bruce Wayne. Note, we never see his face, and they can't either.
Get out of the way. I can't see him.
And at that very instant, a flash gun explodes overhead. Startled, the thugs look up.
God damn, it's the girl.
On Vicky, a chunk of ledge chips off mere inches from her head as the goons open fire. She ducks back behind the overhang, holds the camera out over the ledge, and keeps on flashing using her telephoto lens. No sight of Vicky. They begin to relax a little.
Did you hit it?
I think so. Wax him.
They turn their guns on Bruce, ready to fire. A gloved hand snakes out, grabs Goon 1 by the coattail, and yanks him directly into the line of fire. Goon 2 has pulled the trigger twice before he knows what's happened. In one fluid motion, Bruce heaves Goon 1's lifeless body through the air, knocking Goon 2 backward over a garage can. Goon 2 falls and cracks his head on the nearest wall. Goon 3 takes a rabbit punch to the throat. On the way down, he catches a steel-toed boot in the gut. 4 seconds after all this began, Batman is alone in the alleyway with Goon 4. Goon 4 has his gun out, but he's shaking too much to pull the trigger. Batman smiles. Goon 4 screams and runs for his life. Through all this, Vicky's camera has been posed on the ledge, snapping away. Batman looks up. Rooftop on Vicky. She peeks down at the alley. Limp goons everywhere. And in addition, Batman sees her. She thinks fast. She may have a clean photo of Batman's face. She removes the roll, drops it down her blouse, and escapes across the roof. Batman sees her disappear. He looks around, spots the Batmobile 2 blocks away. The car is still there, the chrome steel shield's intact, but dozens of cops, curiosity seekers, are swarming all over the fearsome machine. Batman snorts in frustration. Okay. Just then, a giant 3-ton Caterpillar winch rumbles up the street toward the Batmobile. He's about to get towed. He takes a radio transmitter from his utility belt.
Shields open.
Exterior street on Batmobile. 2 cops are crawling along the hood of the car. From within, they hear the tiny computerized voice. Shields open. The steel plates begin to retract.
Ignition.
Ignition.
There's somebody in there.
The stunned cops gaze into the Batmobile's cockpit, then tumble off the hood as the turbine engines roar to life and the Batmobile begins to move. Cops and onlookers quickly clear a path. They stand there stunned as the futuristic auto picks up speed and advances toward the end of the block. The left turn signal flashes dutifully, and the Batmobile vanishes around the corner. Pandemonium breaks loose as the cops bolt for their cars. Cut to Vicky running across rooftops with much fear. She shimmies down a ladder. Only one roof to go to get to the street in freedom. She hears sirens. Sirens wail. Passerby stare slack-jawed at the driverless Batmobile as it tears down the street, passing, darting, dodging buses, and cutting off taxis, all with a squad of cop cars in hot pursuit. She's come to an obstacle. It's a 5-foot drop to the street below. Vicky clambers down kerplunk and quickens her pace, tossing a nervous glance over her shoulder every couple of steps. Then suddenly she walks smack into Batman.
Not even a thank you?
Well, I think you might thank me. We were as good as dead.
You weigh a little more than 103.
Sirens approach. Batman takes her gently by the shoulders.
You better come with me.
Where are we going?
No reply. Exterior alleyway night, street level. Batman emerges, pulling Vicky. Batman sees the Batmobile rounding the corner with Vicky in front of him. He steps directly into the path of the onrushing headlights.
Stop.
Brakes squeal. The Batmobile stops 1 yard short of Batman and Vicky. A moment later, Batman is at the wheel. Sirens build, lights flash. The cop cars are now visible behind them. Batman floors the pedal. The Batmobile's powerful afterburners kick in, and the hatless cops kill their sirens as Batman zooms off into the night at 140 miles per hour. Dissolve to interior Batmobile night. Batman drives down a deserted stretch of road lined by ancient tall pines. Vicky tries to see out. Batman pushes a button and changes the polarization of the glass. She can't see out. He's stoic.
This is kidnapping.
Looks like it.
Interior Batmobile night. Moment later, Vicky studies Batman's face. He flicks a switch on lights behind his head which dazzle Vicky, making it impossible for her to see up. Vicky frowns, looks through the windshield, and sees, much to her horror, an enormous sheer cliff wall looming dead ahead. Wide-eyed, she looks at Batman, still smiling. He hits the gas, speeding up. She lets out a scream. Ah! Suddenly, the cliff wall vanishes altogether, revealing in its place the gaping mouth of an underground cavern. capping mouth. Batmobile zooms through. A moment later, the cliff wall, which is nothing more than a mirror projection, winks back into existence, showing no trace of the cavern. Another world, a vast, dank world of perpetual night, unchanged by the centuries. Still, stalactites hang from walls, so bats, cramped, craggy passageways spiral off maze-like, descending into darkness. And then an incongruous sight. Vast banks of blinking computers, a fully equipped machine shop, a state-of-the-art crime lab. This is the Batcave. Batman climbs out of the car. He keeps his distance from Vicky. She steps from the Batmobile's little shaky. Dappled pools of light create an almost operatic stage for Batman and Vicky to alternately hide and reveal themselves in. Vicky steps carefully into the light, trying to see Batman better.
Better watch your step in here.
Vicky stops just over the edge of a deep black pit. She kicks a pebble over. Long seconds pass. No sound. She looks up. Suspended over the bottomless pit are a pair of gymnast rings. She backs away. Suddenly, Vicky's head jerks up abruptly. In the dim recesses overhead, bats are screaming. She shivers.
Bats. They're terrifying.
That's the idea.
Batman puts the cage of a wounded bat, its wing splinted.
They're also great survivors.
Vicky steps away, repulsed. Batman is rustling papers. She can't see what he's doing. She begins to examine a row of bat suits hanging nearby.
What are these made out of?
It doesn't have a name.
While he seems pleased at Vicky's fascination with his lair, he nevertheless remains guarded. Vicky moves toward Batman, intent on getting a closer look at him.
What are you going to do with me?
Batman, realizing what Vicky is trying to do, moves away from her into shadow.
You're going to do something for me.
Vicky again begins to approach Batman. Keeping in shadow, he moves behind a lab table. On the table, amid the beakers and test tubes, are dozens of tainted products, makeup, deodorant, etc. Nearby, a computer printer begins to chatter. Vicky watches information scrolling across the main monitor.
What is all this?
Batman turns but keeps his face out of the light.
The police have it all wrong. They're looking for one product. That's much bigger than that. The Joker's tainted hundreds of basic chemicals at the source.
But then whole shipments of every product would be poisoned. We'd all be dead.
No. Each product only contains one component. The poison only works when they're mixed. Hairspray won't do it alone. But hairspray and perfume and lipstick will be toxic and untraceable.
How did you figure that out?
No answer. Batman steps away.
Take this to the press.
He hands her a thick envelope. She looks it over cautiously.
I may have some trouble with that. A lot of people think you and the Joker work together.
Do me a favor. Don't flatter my enemy. That man's psychotic.
Some people say the same about you.
This is a new idea to Batman. He pauses for a moment.
What people?
Well, let's face it, you're not exactly normal, are you?
It's not a normal world.
Vicky stares at him. She's suddenly chilled.
Why did you bring me here?
People need that information.
But you could have just sent it.
She looks around. Where is he? No sound. Suddenly he is near. She backs up.
You're right. I could have. There is something else.
She looks down. She has backed up nearly to the gaping hole.
What?
You have something I want.
Batman suddenly steps very close to her. She holds her hand to her breast.
What could I have that you want?
Batman swirls his cape up over her. Her eyes widen. She starts to scream. He embraces her. She stops. And as she closes her eyes, he produces an ampoule of knockout gas, which he breaks under her nose. She slumps. The room spins. Sound of bat wings. Dissolve too. Interior bedroom. Afternoon. Vicky awakens. She feels her face. Was it a dream? She steps shakily to the mirror, touches her lips. What happened? Did he make love to her? Then she touches her breast. No film.
Film! He took the film!
Phone rings.
Hello?
Vicky, are you all right? Do you want me to come over?
No. Wait. Allie?
She reaches out a frame and brings the envelope Batman gave her up to the phone.
Allie, can you still make the evening edition if I bring you something?
Just barely. Is it hot?
Yeah, it's hot.
How hot?
She hands
Very hot.
Exterior newsstands day. The early edition of the Globe carries the banner headline, War of the Freaks, Joker and Batman clash at Flugelheim. A delivery truck cruises past, dumping a bundle of afternoon editions on the sidewalk. War of the Freaks has been relegated to the lower right-hand corner of the page, supplanted by more pressing news. Batman cracks Joker's poison code. Citizens told to avoid the following products. Interior television studio, evening. The action news set with anchor Peter McElroy.
Avoid the following combinations: deodorants with baby powder, hairspray, and odor eaters. Safe products are flying in as Gotham City goes on a forced fast. And all of Gotham is wondering what to make of Batman. Friend or foe?
Interior, Axis Chemicals, evening. Joker screams at the top of his lungs.
I'm giving a name to my pain. That is
Joker blasts the TV with the riot gun. Other goons stare. Joker charges for the factory.
Bob, you gotta possess strength to inflict greater pain. We got a bat to kill, and I want to clean my claws.
Interior, Batcave, night. Bruce looks at assortment of maps. He looks tired. Alfred brings him some coffee.
Sir, Miss Vale called again. I don't know what you intend to do about her, but I think your present course of action may just strengthen your resolve. She's quite tenacious.
I know, Alfred.
Alfred heads for the door. He stops and pulls himself tall. Interior, Vicky's apartment, afternoon. A knock at the door. Vicky opens it, and Bruce is standing there, smiling. A flower in his hand, a shoulder bag on his shoulder. Vicky is very surprised. She recovers, still cool.
Well, if it isn't the Invisible Man.
Saw through me.
He hands her the flower. She looks at it warmly.
Come in.
Bruce enters. She looks at flower like it could squirt something on her. Bruce smiles, a beat of nervous silence.
So...
Listen, I know that we're supposed to ease into this sort of thing, but I'm really perplexed about you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I came.
You lied to me about leaving town. You won't return my phone calls. Then I saw you march through bullets like you were trying to commit suicide.
Look, I did kind of lose it for a while, but some things just affect me.
Affect you? You were a totally different person.
You have to understand, crime... I love this city.
See, now he's back, the sweet, caring guy, but you seem to be at least two people. What's going on?
Bruce stands and looks at the window. Torn.
Look, Vicky, there's something you should know.
A knock at the door interrupts him. Vicky lingers and then goes to the door. Peering through the peephole, she sees a delivery boy.
Who's there?
Sorry, package for Miss Vale.
Delivery boy hands package in. She signs and shuts door. Vicky examines the mysterious package. It's another brown paper parcel, addressed in crayon.
Bruce? I'm frightened.
Bruce looks at the parcel. Grabbing his shoulder bag, he takes package to the kitchen.
Shut the door, just in case.
Be careful. Don't set it off.
She shuts the door, leaving Bruce alone in kitchen. Interior kitchen day. Bruce opens his bag and lifts out a false bottom to reveal his utility belt. He removes a tiny ultrasound scanner from the utility belt, rather like a stethoscope with a sonar display where the earpieces should be, and runs it over the package.
What do you think?
Nothing ticking.
He moves next to the door and listens. Bruce takes a small gas mask from his belt, puts it on, then slits the wrapping with a steak knife. Nothing happens.
What's happening? Are you okay?
She knocks. He jumps. He's tense. Bruce carefully pulls back to the flaps. Suddenly, the top of the package bursts open. Interior living room. Vicky jumps at the noise.
Bruce, are you all right?
No answer.
Bruce, I'm coming in.
She grabs for the door and pushes through. Bruce stares at the package. No utility belt in sight.
Very poetic.
On box, a gloved hand on a spring, holding a bunch of dead flowers, has erupted through the top of the package and wobbles about. There's a large embossed card in the flowers. Bruce lifts out the card and she reads it.
Roses are red, violets are blue. These flowers are dead. You could be too. He sent something just before he arrived this last time.
Bruce nods her out of there. Vicky heads for the living room, but before she can get through the kitchen door, the Joker, Bob, and one other goon burst through the door.
Miss me?
The Joker sees Bruce and stops in his tracks.
Well, Miss Vale, another rooster in the hen house.
The Joker pulls a gun and moves toward Bruce. He traces the outline of Bruce's cheek with the gun.
Tell me something, my friend. You ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Bruce is alarmed. A memory fragment clicks.
What?
It's just something I say. I like the sound of it.
Bob chuckles. Bruce is torn. Should he fight? Should he reveal his identity? Suddenly he realizes his utility belt is sitting in plain view on the kitchen counter. The Joker is yet to notice. Bruce backs slowly against the counter, shielding the belt from view.
Vicky, don't let my happy-go-lucky appearance fool you. I'm really very upset. You were dining with me, talking art. I was a man who was getting somewhere with a beautiful woman. And all of a sudden, without a word of apology, take off with that sideshow for me.
He moves closer to her.
I'm only laughing on the outside. My smile is skin deep, but you can see inside.
I'm
really crying. You might join me for a week.
He cups his hand under Vicky's chin. Bruce charges at him. A backhand from a goon knocks Bruce off his feet. As he reels backward, he contrives to knock the utility belt off the counter by sweeping his arm across it. Bruce sprawls in a heap in the corner. In a flash, Joker points his gun at Bruce and pulls the trigger. A tiny flag, bang, pops out of the muzzle, prompting great hilarity all around. Joker howls. Bruce sweats.
Come on, I want you to shoot some snaps. Make me a more. It'll be good for you.
Bob hands Vicky her camera and bag and jacket. A scream from out on the window below calls her to the window. A police car is run up on the sidewalk. Two policemen are staggering in the street, grabbing their throats. A woman runs horrified from the scene. She turns back to the Joker.
What's wrong with those policemen?
Looks like they're rethinking their spot in the social order.
Bob pulls Vicky out of the door. Joker follows, pulls the door too on Bruce. He leaps up and stuffs the utility belt into his shoulder bag. Suddenly the Joker is there.
Listen, Bruce. Never rub another man's love on. Get me?
The Joker levels the gun at Bruce again and fires. This time a real bullet. Bruce is thrown back against the wall as the bullet hits him. Joker exits. Goons force Vicky into a van. Joker heads for it too.
Gotham Square, lickety split.
Bruce is coming around. He checks his sight, no blood. He then looks at his shoulder bag. It has a hole in it. He takes out the utility belt as a bullet embedded in it. Bruce struggles up, straps on the utility belt, dials a number on its digital pad. Red lights scan and then beep. Bruce runs into the bedroom. He rummages around for something in her closet, finds a black something and exits. Bruce sprints across the hallway and up a stairway. Bruce bursts onto the roof just in time to see Van pull out into the traffic. He pulls the black nylon ski cap over his head and bounds off across. This is pretty cool. The van passes by, pedestrians staring Google-eyed at the rooftops. Far above them, a man, oddly garbed in a suit, a tie, a yellow belt, and a black ski mask, is gliding across the intersection on a rope. The Joker is being thrown around a bit by the speeding, swerving van. Suddenly, he reaches forward and grabs Bob.
If you notice, it's never made it into the movie.
Yeah, that's so
Slow
cool.
down, you maniac.
The Joker turns to Vicky, putting his hand on her knee. She tries to move away from him.
I'm a little high-strung, you know. I've recently had tragedy in my life. Day before yesterday, Alicia hurled herself out the window. couldn't justify you aesthetic.
He hands her a porcelain mask. It has a crack in it.
But you can't make some omelet without breaking some eggs.
The Joker's van guns through a red light, just missing a mounted policeman standing by his horse. His horse shies, rears back, turns in a circle. The policeman, already in bad shape, struggles with his throat, moving slow as molasses. His face contorts into a smile, and he shakes his head slowly. Bruce lands on horse's back. Cop turns slowly around, sees Bruce. Bruce looks with alarm at the policeman. His POV. Staggers down the street, his hands grasping his throat. Joker has done his evil work. Exterior side street. Moments later, Bruce on horseback, charging past elegant brownstones, drawing stares from passerby. On his belt is a flashing red signal light. Exterior, Riverview Drive, that moment. A yellow VW Bug rips up the street at 70 miles per hour. We can't see the driver, but we do see on the seat beside him a video display with the shifting grid map of the city, and on it a flashing signal blinking in perfect sync with the one on Bruce's belt. Bruce sees the VW Bug rounding the corner and streaking towards him. He reins in the horse. It rears back on its hind legs. The Bug pulls up, and Alfred hands Bruce a bundle of bat clothes.
Alfred, find the records on my family. I want to check something.
Yes, sir. Be careful.
Bruce, now nearly fully dressed as Batman. I'll wait for Tim. Gets back on the horse and rides off. Alfred looks pained. The square where the unveiling is taking place has been closed to traffic. There are barricades at the entrance streets. A temporary stage has been erected around a shrouded statue on one side of the square. A small crowd is gathered. Off to one side, policeman crouches in the grass. Two people try to help him. Closer on policeman. He struggles to move his head to look up. We see his face is contorting into a smile. A junior high school band is playing the Happy Birthday theme.
Happy birthday, Gotham City. You know, every city has a father, and no one could have a better father than John T. Gotham.
The van enters the square and stops. Joker, flanked by armed goons, gets out. Vicky is pulled along with him. Joker pushes through the crowd at the bottom of the steps leading up to the stage.
I dedicate the statue of a man who embodies the past, present, and future of that great city.
Mayor pulls a cord and drops the shroud around the statue, revealing not John T. Gotham, but a garish, polychrome statue of the Joker, wielding two Uzi machine guns like they were six-shooters. Expressionism on acid.
Start shooting my seat. I'm making history.
Joker clampers on the stage.
No autographs.
He seizes the mic from terrified Mayor. The Joker holds a small machine gun on him. Under the grin, he's grinning.
Call the police.
What police?
Angle on several policemen lying on grass.
Hi there, fellow Gothamites. As an ex-founding father of this fair city, I declared these celebrations well and truly open.
He fires a burst into the air, knocking down one corner of the anniversary banner. Joker laughs maniacally. Suddenly, from nowhere, a bat bolo zings through the air. Its heavy ends wrap symmetrically around the head of a statue. A hissing rises from the bomb-like bolo ends. Vicky looks up as people rush away from the stage. People are screaming. Batman in top building, firing the bolos from a crossbow sort of weapon. Suddenly, a blast as both ends of the bob explode and knock the head off of the statue off. Joker is stunned.
My very face is destroyed.
Two goons fire at Batman. On Batman. He fires two lines into the ground and swings down between them to the stage. Bullets fly around him. Two goons attack him and he kicks them both down and heads for Joker. Joker grabs the mayor around the neck, covers him with gun.
Damn, I got a good one for you, Batman. Was red and bloody and has no brains.
Batman circles Joker.
You know, I didn't know bats came out in the daytime.
Just when murderous clowns are leave the circus, let him go.
Aw, can I keep him? I'll feed him.
What do you want from this city?
I want a new bicycle. I want to visit Florida. I want...
On Vicky, holding up her camera.
Let me get this, Joker.
He turns to her and poses. She flashes. Batman takes this occasion to snap his finger.
Joker!
Joker looks at him. Batman materializes a Joker card. Joker looks at it, and Batman sucker punches him in the face as the mayor rolls away. Joker rolls backward and zips to his feet. He looks around as goons flee.
Odds are even. So I'ma leave it. You got your toys, I got mine.
Joker steps back onto the statue platform and amidst colored smoke and fireworks, he disappears down into the sewer system. Batman spins around. The goons speed away in the van. Vicky readies her camera to snap Batman.
Thanks.
So we're even. I don't owe you anything.
Whatever you say.
Vicky snaps a photo. Batman looks at her for a beat, a hint of disappointment. Police sirens. Batman fires the line up to the building and zooms up the line to the top. He disappears as Vicky shoots pics. Interior, Gotham Globe, morgue room, day. Knox is beside himself. Vicky is thoughtful.
And you didn't have film in your camera?
The goon handed it to me. I didn't check. Oh, Allie, I'm really losing it.
Oh, I found out about your strange street corner.
She looks up at him.
Your friend Bruce is pretty screwed up, Vic.
More good news?
He motions her to a microfilm reader. Knox begins cranking through back issue newspapers.
Okay, here we go. Check it out.
Vicky stares at the screen. A banner headline reads, Thomas Wayne murdered. Prominent doctor, wife slain in robbery, unidentified gunman leaves child unarmed. Beneath it, a photo. Cops kneeling over corpses. Medics with stretchers. And off to one side, a young boy, Bruce Wayne, his arms wrapped around the waist of a beat cop. Boy stares at the camera, a mask of unforgettable agony.
Some snap, huh?
Oh my God. His parents were murdered in that alley. That's why he went there. It was the anniversary of their death.
Tight on young Bruce's face, his features recognizable across all the years, permanently and indelibly traumatized. Back to scene.
Yep. Okay, watch the whole thing happen.
Allie, the look on his face. It's just like that day with the Joker in front of City Hall.
Can you imagine what this could do to a guy, Vic?
Tight on Vicky. She thinks about that. Back to scene.
Allie, does it say how old his father was when he was killed?
Yeah, I noticed that too. Just turned 35.
Tight on Vicky. She makes a connection.
I've got to go.
Back to scene. Vicky exits slowly.
Don't let your personal feelings interfere with the job.
Interior Batcave night. Bruce's bank of monitors deep in the Batcave. 30 screens show Wayne Manor's empty rooms. Bruce is slumped at a table. He's sleeping, head resting on a map of Gotham. Alfred tiptoes in and folds Batcape. Bruce wakes.
File on my parents?
Alfred nods toward it. He's grave.
What's on your mind, Alfred?
I'm getting old, sir. I don't want to fill my days grieving for old friends. Or their sons.
Exterior, City Hall day. The steps are backed with TV news crews. The mayor's flanked by Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent steps gloomily to a podium.
The 200th anniversary birthday gala has been indefinitely postponed.
Exterior, City Hall that moment day. Technicians and video trucks watching on remote monitors.
We're opposed to terrorism in any form, but a toxin has been found in the coffee at the police station. With 2/3 of our police force disabled, we simply can't guarantee public safety.
That moment, video noise wipes half the image away, leaving a split screen. On one side is the mayor. On the other, sitting in a director's chair with a big yellow happy face behind him is the Joker, but a very different Joker indeed, relaxed and very lucid. With his flesh-colored makeup on, he manages to make his grin almost friendly.
Joker here. Now you guys have said some pretty mean things, some which I meant virtually under that fiend boss Grissom. He was a terrorist and a thief, but on the other hand, he was great at bridge. Anyway, he's dead now, and he left me in charge. Now, I can be the ethical, but there's one thing that I may be a bit rough, but there's maybe one thing I'm not. I'm not a killer. I'm an artist, and I love art. So, truce, commence au festival.
He spreads his arms to a torrent of canned applause.
I even got a little present for Gotham City. At midnight, I dropped $20 million cash on the crowd. I've got plenty, so don't worry about it.
We are not prepared to discuss any deals.
You heard me, folks. 20 million.
Series of images of citizens. Ears prick up. They are very interested.
And there will be entertainment. The big buckaroo. Need one corner and the other. The man who has brought the real terror to the city. Batman.
On Mayor and Dent, they look at each other in surprise.
Can you hear me? Just you and me, mano y mano. I've taken off my makeup. Let's see if you take off.
Damn. Interior Wayne's study, evening. Bruce stares at TV, shuts it off. He takes deep, regular breaths. Closer angle. He pulls out a police file. On soundtrack, a memory sounds from the past float by. A snatch of music, a woman's laughter. On file, Bruce opens a file. Police report unsolved is written across the cover. He turns the page and the police photos fall out. He picks one up. A wash of memory sound floods the screen. Street noises, a little boy's voice. On photo, the shocked, sad face of the little boy that terrible night. Memory sound washes laughter. Quicker footsteps, a voice.
Tom, there's someone following us.
Cut to Bruce's memory, exterior Gotham Street night, 1963. Thomas, Martha, and the young Bruce Wayne are running towards us. Something stops them. Cut to Bruce's POV. We see two young hoodlums pointing a gun at us. The hoodlum with the gun grabs a string of pearls on Martha's neck. Thomas tries to grab the young hood's arm. We hear the sound of a shot. Thomas falls. Martha screams. The hood fires. Martha falls. The second hoodlum runs away. The hoodlum points the gun at the camera. The hoodlum's face is in the dark. Cut to young Bruce staring back.
Tell me, kid.
The hood steps into the moonlight. It is clear a young Jack Napier.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight?
On trigger finger, it squeezes. Suddenly a voice calls out.
Come on, let's go.
Cut back to young Bruce's POV, where we see Jack begin to move slowly away. He laughs as he leaves. Interior, study, evening. Close up on Bruce's tortured face, his eyes snap open. He is breathing heavily and pouring with sweat.
It was him.
Are you all right?
Bruce starts. He turns to see Vicky standing there. Alfred is near the door, having let her in.
What? How did you get in here?
Alfred exits. Vicky pours herself a drink. She's a little nervous.
Alfred, am I crazy? That wasn't just another night for either of us, was it? We got to each other, didn't we?
Bruce gathers himself and shuts the police folders.
You were going to tell me something at my apartment when the Joker came in. What was it?
Bruce looks away.
Why won't you let me in?
He looks straight into her heart.
You got it.
Vicky looks startled. My God, he loves her. The dilemma fills in the space between them.
I didn't know how to think about all this.
You said you got to a place where you just had to live with the way you were. Well, that's this place.
I loved you every night since I met you, but I don't know if I can love you dead. Sorry.
I can't help you out with that. I've been trying to avoid this, but that's the way it is. I wear a cape, you take pictures. It's not a perfect world.
It doesn't have to be a perfect world. I've just got to know if we're going to try to love each other.
Bruce stops and looks at her. Vicky at him. He can't commit.
He's out there tonight, and now I gotta go to work.
Bruce disappears into the dark. Series of shots. Theme music up. Bruce prepares for a final confrontation with the Joker. The gloves, the boots, the cape, and finally, the black bat emblem, framed in yellow, filling the scene. Dissolve, too. Exterior, acts as chemical night. A big yellow moon, the wheels of a truck. Tilt, up, 2. Sign, Axis Chemical Works. Bruce, huge steel, gates close. Every word is Bruce or steel. Opposite the gate, the headlights of the Batmobile come on. Its engine roar, shooting clouds from multiple exhausts. Front fender extends as vehicle roars down the street. Goon guard jumps for his life as the Batmobile, headlights blazing, smashes through gates, coming to rest in front of the steel doors of main building.
It's Batman!
Flaps on the wings of the Batmobile open as the gate gate guard fires his pistol at the car. Rocket launchers emerge through the open flaps. Guards' bullets bounce off Batmobile's bodywork. The rockets ignite and blast off to demolish the shuttered steel doors. Gate guard runs off. The rocket launchers retract. Batmobile moves through hole in doors. Interior Axis Chemical that moment. Goons inside take cover as Batmobile cruises through the shattered doors and stops. They open fire with machine guns. One or two of the bullets crash through the windshield. Batmobile slowly shields itself, hunkering down like an iron butterfly. On goons, they peer at it. Fire wildly to no effect. From the hubcaps come arms, each holding a wicked-looking cache of plastic explosives. Goons don't see it. From within the cockpit, we see, under the fascia, a monitor flashing a countdown. 12, 11, 10. We zoom into the monitor as the numbers flick from 10 to 9. Cut 2. Interior Batmobile. The monitor beneath the fascia of the Batmobile as it reads detonate. Cut 2. Exterior. The Axis Chemical plant explodes like a ball of fire. Debris and dust fall to earth. The building is devastated, flattened. Nothing could have lived through the blast. A beat. Silence. Suddenly from within the burned rubble, a rumble. Closer on debris. Something stirs, lifts, moves up and then out. Slowly the Batmobile pulls itself out of the debris. Batmobile drives up to the gate. From out of the darkness, Batman steps and pats it on the fender. It chugs. Sound of chopper. Bright searchlights flash on Batman. Bullets fly all around him. He jumps behind steel gate. Exterior Chemical. A chopper roars up from behind a building. Loudspeaker blasts.
Not even close. No cigar, fool.
Another angle, closer on Joker. From the open side door of a chopper, he's delighted.
I'm going to the festival. You really ought to show up. I'm going to kill 1,000 people an hour until you do.
Laughter as the chopper banks sharply and flies off over the river toward the searchlights of the festival. Cut to interior warehouse night that moment. A lone watchman reads in a chair. The lights wink out, and a thug clubs him from behind. A small army of criminal shock troops enters. Lights relight. Searchlights mount on trucks with portable generators. Behind the trucks, gaudy parade floats and enormous deflated balloons hanging limply from rafters. Joker's men inflate balloons. Steel doors rise. The beacon trucks rumble out onto the street. Joker steps into the warehouse.
I'm prepared to rule the world.
Exterior, downtown, Gotham. That moment. The main street, Broad Avenue, leading into the central square. Groups of cautious pedestrians, amplified rock music played by Prince, written and performed by Prince as a truck with searchlights round a corner onto Broad Avenue. Searchlights play up the street and onto the buildings. A beam illuminates a gigantic balloon with a huge cartoon face looking round the corner before entering the avenue. This balloon is moored to a parade float. More trucks with searchlights, floats, and giant balloons follow. Cartoon characters and historical figures. Banners proclaim, "Happy birthday, Gotham City." Bystanders are amazed. Suddenly the air is filled with thousands of dollar bills. From the face of the leading balloon, a huge grotesque clown smiling ghoulishly and dressed in white pirouette frills. We tilt down through the swirling dollars. Here on a float, surrounded by armed goons, sitting on a giant throne, is the Joker. Bob hands the Joker bundles of dollar bills. Joker pitches the bills with a grand gesture up into the wind from a giant fan. People grab from the green bags as they fill the air. Tied on bill, a rear $1 bill. Wider. Like a demonic DJ, the Joker is lip syncing to Prince playing music. Going out. There it is. People flock in from the side streets. Soon the whole area is packed with citizens scrambling for dollar bills. Exterior. Vicky's taking photographs of the hysterical citizens.
Welcome, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Open those hungry wallets.
He laughs. horn blares. Vicky glances nervously around and is relieved to see Knox lean out of his car.
Vicky.
Vicky scrambles into the car. Interior, Knox's car.
You think Batman will show for this? Oh, nope. That wasn't me.
Do you think Batman will show for this?
He'll be here.
Exterior, side street. That moment, Knox drives off to join the parade. Cut 2. Exterior, Gotham City. Aerial shot. Night. The city on its island. Dark except for the searchlights lining Broad Avenue. All at once, a streaking black shadow enters frame. The Batwing. A phenomenal ultralight aircraft, swift and sleek, it slices through the night, carrying its pilot on a final mission of mercy and vengeance. Angle on Batman. In the cockpit, Batman, his jaw set, shifts the joystick and banks the Batwing. The Batwing banks away from the camera and dives toward the blacked out city. Cut 2. Exterior, Broad Avenue. That moment, mayhem continues with dollar bills still flying around and crowds of people still chasing them, fighting and looting. We see Knox's car join the back of the parade. Vicky is taking pictures of everything in sight, but she's clearly looking for Batman.
Look at that.
Pull over.
Here, Broad Avenue, that moment where we see that one of the floats has mounted the sidewalk, crashed into a lamp standard, and come to a halt. The goons on board are fighting off the crowds of people who are chasing the dollar bills which have lodged onto the float. Cut 2. Interior, Knox's car. That moment, Knox pulls over to the side of the avenue while Vicky continues taking pictures.
Man, this is sick.
Vicky opens the car door and begins to climb out to get better shots.
Well, go get hurt in a place like this.
Exterior, Broad Avenue. That moment, Vicky leans against Knox's car and looks up to see a giant balloon of a grotesque underdog bouncing against the side of a building. This is the balloon which is attached to the crashed float. Vicky whips out her telephoto lens and is adjusting the zoom. When she does a double take, looks through the lens again and sees, cut to, Vicky's POV of underdog through long lens. We see, fixed to the underside of the balloon, a number of metal cylinders. One of them, damaged by hitting the side of the building, is beginning to leak a vile-looking green gas. The heavy gas drops groundward. Cut to, exterior, crash float. That moment, goons also spot leak and dom gas masks. The green gas arrives at street level. Two unfortunate citizens begin to choke, their faces paralyzed into rictus grins. One of them appears to drop dead. 40 yards away, Vicky panics.
Those balloons are full of Smilex gas. He's going to kill everyone.
Knox tries to drag Vicky back into the car.
Get in, close the door.
At that moment, we hear through the Prince music the sound of the Batwing overhead. Vicky looks up. Cut to Vicky's POV of Batwing. The Batwing, lower than before, swoops between the skyscrapers. Close shot of Batwing cockpit. That moment, Batman at the controls looks at Broad Avenue below. Exterior, Broad Avenue. That moment.
We've got to cut those balloons loose. I think I saw Batman. We've got to warn him.
Knox drags Vicky into car and slams the door. Interior, Knox's car. Knox thinks for a moment before coming to a decision.
Don't move.
He jumps out.
Allie.
He runs around to the trunk, opens it up, and returns with a toolbox. He takes out a pair of metal cutters and a cheap anti-dust mask.
What are you doing?
Stay here. Let me just do this one thing.
Allie, please be careful.
Knox puts on the mask. With the metal cutters in his hand, he races towards the crash float. Exterior, crash float. Moments later, nobody's paying attention to the few people affected by the gas. Knox leaps onto the crash float. Before the goons have even noticed that he's there, he's cut through one of Underdog's marines. Angle on Underdog. As one, now free, corner of the balloon floats up between buildings. A goon fires at Knox. Knox ducks, but then is hit. Knox's car screeches up. Vicky flings open the door, grabs Knox by the collar, and drives away, dragging Knox with her. The goons shoot after them. Holes appear in Knox's car, and most of the windows are shot out. But the car makes it round a corner and off Broad Avenue before the engine cuts out. Vicky drags Knox in his sheltered doorway next to Gotham Cathedral. Blood flows down Knox's face from a minor head wound. He looks at her.
You were great, Allie. Don't try any more heroics tonight.
Knox goes unconscious. Exterior, aerial shot, Batwing. The Batwing approaches over tops of the skyscrapers. Batman looks up ahead towards Avenue. The light from the constantly shifting searchlights beams up from deep canyon of high buildings. We see Joker's giant balloon procession bobbing eerily. The Batwing slips past the cathedral toward and begins its descent down Broad Avenue. From behind the cathedral, the Batwing levels out for its first pass over the parade. Batwing zooms low above the tops of the balloons. Searchlights flash in the cockpit. The buildings of Broad Avenue race past as the Batman sees the luminous green gas leaking from one of the tanks. Exterior, Joker on his throne. That moment, the Joker still graciously dispensing dollar bills.
That's right, folks. Hubba, hubba, hubba. Money, money, money. Who can you trust? Me? I'm here. I got real money. And where is the Batman? He's at home washing his tights.
Laughing. Suddenly, here's the Batwing. Looks up. He waves and leaps up and down with excitement.
When battle flies through the night and finds me ready.
The Joker laughs crazily. Angle on Batman, that moment. Batman puts the Batwing onto its side, looks down on Joker. The Joker throws the last handful of dollar bills into the fan.
Bob Max.
Angle on man and crowd. Looking at his money, the green comes off of his hands.
What is this stuff?
Tied on money. A hand rubs the green dye off, and we see underneath Joker money, with Joker's face on the $1 bill. Back to scene.
Stuff is fake. Stuff is fake. Fake.
The Joker laughs hysterically.
Now comes the part where I leave you, the little people, of the burden of your failed and useless lies. But as my plastic surgeon always said, when you gotta go to Smyrna.
Joker takes a remote control device from under his throne, points it up at the balloons, and presses a trigger. The hanging tanks begin to release gas into the balloons in response to the Joker's switch. The balloon swells. Bod gives a gas mask to Joker and puts one on himself. The Joker screams with laughter and puts his gas mask on. The crowd panics and tries desperately to escape. The balloon's skin stretches and creaks. A bulge develops along one of the seams. Angle on crowd. People panicking to get away from below the balloon's burst. Joker laughs behind his gas mask. Batwing dives to remove the balloons. Batwing dives into Broad Avenue. It levels out at 30 feet and zooms overhead. Goons on trucks and people standing in the avenue duck. Batman throws a switch on the control panel inside. From under the front of the cockpit, a cable catcher cutter slides out to protrude in front of the Batwing. The camera tilts down to show the underside of the Batwing. We now see the cable catcher cutter open like scissors and look into facing slots on either side of the catamaran-type fuselage. Aerial shot, Batman's forward POV. As he swoops under balloons, the Batwing zooms beneath balloons. The ropes securing the balloons to the floats are coming at us fast. The cable catcher cutter is picking up, cutting and holding balloon ropes at a fast rate. Batman struggles with the joystick to control the now less stable Batwing. He looks down and smiles. The Joker whips off gas mask and looks up in dismay.
My balloons. Those are my balloons.
Batman reacts to something directly ahead of him. Aerial shot. He's heading straight for the cathedral tower. He lifts the nose of the Batwing, engine screaming in protest. Batman banks the aircraft to the right and misses the cathedral by inches. Forced against the side of the cockpit by the G-forces, his face is distorted. The Batwing climbs, pulling giant balloons in its wake. The cutting blades slice ropes, releasing the balloons. Balloons float free into the skies. The Batwing turns and dives back toward the city. Joker climbs down to now deserted Broad Avenue. Goons are still hovering around. The Joker looks up.
He stole my balloons!
Angle on Batman. Batman, grim-faced, looks down from the cockpit. Exterior, angle on Joker. He waves his fists and screams.
Why didn't somebody tell me I had one of those things?
Joker shoots Bob.
Oh, poor Bob.
Other goons look fearful, fall silent.
We need a moment alone, boys.
The goons quake. Joker hears whine of the Batwing. Changes direction. The Batwing flies past, loops and returns to the direction from which it came. Angles on wing of Batwing. Flaps open on the fuselage and wing of the Batwing. A laser gun, Gatling missiles, and spotlight emerge. Batman clears trigger safety mechanisms and presses switches to arm the rockets and laser. He sets the missile sightings. The Batwing, with all its weapons primed, descends. Goons glance at each other and begin to run away. The Joker stares at the retreating goons in disbelief.
It's just cooking good, you schmoes. What's going on?
Deserted by goons, he looks up at Batwing. Batwing's spotlights come on at speeds towards him. Joker laughs, steps into the middle of the avenue, and opens his arms.
That's right. Come to me, you gruesome son of a bitch. Come on.
Vicky arrives just in time to see the action. Batman, cool and collected, looks down ahead of him. Abandoned floats and trucks litter the road and sidewalks. The searchlights blaze, but no longer move. Batman pulls the mobile missile sights to his eyes. Batman's POV through missile sight that moment. After a couple of telescopic enlargements, Batman zeroes the sights on the Joker, who is standing arms outstretched in the middle of the avenue. Batman opens up with everything, and we see the Gatling, missiles, and laser explode into action. A rocket, bullets, and the laser beam smash into the street all around the Joker. He leaps, laughing into the air, and miraculously avoids being hit. The Batwing levels in for the kill. Guns, missiles, lasers, all blasting away. The Joker sneers and starts to draw a gun from his belt, but he goes on drawing it, on and on. Finally, he brandishes the entire weapon. It's a very long barrel. The Joker takes aim. The gun goes off with a great explosion and a tongue of flame. The recoil throws the Joker backwards. The cockpit begins to fill with smoke, blinding Batman. The engine cough and cut out. Vicky sees the Batwing's in trouble. She runs after it. Everything is vibrating. The joystick comes loose in Batman's hands. Smoke fills the cockpit. The Joker, clutching his smoking pistol, ducks down as the stricken Batwing careens over his head. He dances a victory jig. The Batwing belly flops onto the street and bounces, spewing black smoke and debris. It bounces again and begins to cartwheel. Batman blows the Perspex canopy off the cockpit, releasing some of the smoke. Flames shoot from the control panel. The Batwing rolls over, throwing Batman around. The cathedral spins as the Batwing hurtles towards it. Batwing smashes into cathedral, steps, and stops. Complete silence, then Joker's laugh echoes down Broad Avenue. Joker's doubled up with laughter, tears down his cheeks. But forming around him is an angry crowd. He looks up at it and laughs even harder. Angle and Batman, who is dazed and hurt, is trying with difficulty to free himself from the smoldering, twisted wreckage of the cockpit. The crowd is pressing in on Joker. Gordon arrives with small police force. Joker pulls out another gun and fires in the air. He backs off quickly down the street. Joker arrives to see wreckage. No movement inside. Suddenly, the Batwing explodes, knocking Joker head over heels. Joker stands up, looking at burning wreckage, and sees distant crowd coming toward him. Exterior cathedral. The Joker scurries up to the top of the steps. Joker takes a walkie-talkie from his pocket.
Gotham Cathedral Tower. It's getting crowded down here. Come and get me in 5 minutes.
Roger, boss.
He looks up towards the absurdly high tower.
Better make it 10.
The Joker enters the cathedral. Exterior, Batwing wreckage. Moments later, Vicky comes upon wreckage. Suddenly, Batman lifts up from the smoking metal. He's shaken and his cape is torn and caught.
Are you all right?
Batman gathers himself like thunder. Total galvanized focus on the cathedral and Joker inside.
I'll get you out of here.
Police cars approaching, sirens blaring.
Kick that.
Vicky kicks it. The cape is free. Batman walks by her like a knight from hell. Interior cathedral moments later. Suddenly framed in the arched doorway, a ragged black ghost. Batman closes the cathedral door. He pulls a heavy bar over the door. He stops and listens. He shuffles forward, falls down a step, and crashes against the rear pew, knocking it over. The pew falls, and all the pews go down like dominoes, making a lot of noise. Before the front pew has fallen, the Joker darts out from behind it and runs, laughing, into the bell tower.
Miss me.
Batman sets off in painful pursuit. Interior, bottom of bell tower stairs. Batman reaches the bottom of the stairs leading up to the bell tower and collapses against the banisters. Above him, he can hear the Joker's receding footsteps on the creaking, rotting stairs. Batman sets his jaw, taking a couple of deep, painful breaths, and hauls himself up the wooden stairs. Commissioner Gordon, with a few policemen, rush to the cathedral door. We see the Joker's feet climbing up the stairs faster and faster as he races up the spiral staircase. Lower down the stairs, we see Batman climbing. Somehow he's not using his grappling hook. This is what I thought when I watched it yesterday. Like, why is he not using it? I don't know. The Joker, slightly out of breath, comes bounding up toward the camera, grinning and chuckling, heading for the bell tower itself where the bells are housed. Batman, too, moves up towards the camera, but very slowly. He looks dreadful. He's really not feeling it. He turns a corner and looks up. The Joker reaches the top of the stair and a wooden ceiling. There's a trapdoor set in the ceiling directly above the stairs. The Joker, hearing something from below, leans over the handrail, looks down the stairwell, and listens. We see the staircase spiraling down into the gloom and hear the sound of Commissioner Gordon and his police squad as they enter the bell tower and begin to climb the stairs. The Joker opens the trap door and climbs into the moonlit belfry. Interior belfry, whatever that is. Joker emerges through the trap door into the belfry. Tall louvre windows on each side designed to protect the bells, but let out sound. Openings in each wall lead out onto a parapet, which runs all the way around the tower. This guy knew a lot about cathedrals. I think he took a tour of the Notre Dame or something.
Yep. Also, if it helps, I think it's the belfry.
That does help.
That's where cathedrals hold their bells, is the belfry.
Because it's like every word now. In the middle of the belfry, a giant bell sits rusting on its rocker beds. Two other smaller rocker beds are empty. The bells from these are sitting on the floor besides the trapdoor. The Joker casually squirts one of the holding pins on the bell with his acid flower. It begins to burn as he walks forward and looks at his watch nonchalantly. The bell behind him breaks, smashing down from the tower. Interior bell tower staircase. Batman flattens himself against the wall as the bell plummets past, bringing pieces of staircase with it. Batman nearly falls with the bell. As the sound of breaking glass gets closer to Gordon and the police run down the stairs, they are quickly followed by the bell and a mass of broken, rotten, dusty timber. Interior bell tower staircase. Batman claws upstairs and collapses just under the closed trapdoor of the belfry. He tries to open the trapdoor but doesn't have the strength. Interior. Joker paces, impatiently waiting for his rescue helicopter, glances at his watch. Interior. Batman beneath the trapdoor can hear the Joker pacing. Now there's dialogue. The Joker, hearing something beneath the trapdoor, begins to move the second bell over it. However, his curiosity gets the better of him, and he lifts the trap of a fraction of an inch. He opens the trap fully. No Batman.
I must have belled the bat.
Joker laughs and stops and looks around slowly.
There ain't more of you up here, are there? Daddy or Mama Bat?
The Joker laughs crazily.
My parents are dead, but you remember that, don't you, Jack?
Joker turns quickly to see Batman standing with cape unfurled. A repelling line hangs from his belt and out onto the parapet. A small pulley on the belt. The Joker cackles.
You climbed up the outside with a rope. You little monkey. God, look at you. You're a mess. They're going to be real mad at the costume shop when they see what you did to their city.
Batman steps toward him. Joker steps back into the half dark.
Yeah, and they asked me to bring your face back to the shop for some work, even if I have to tear it off.
You maniac. You dropped me in the tanks. You made me.
I made you, and you made me.
What is this? I say you made me, you have to say I made you. How childish can you get? You understand?
Are we going to kill each other, Jack?
Jack? Jack's out, while I'm running his body when he's gone.
Well, when you see him, tell him I'm going to kick his ass.
Batman steps into Joker's direction. From out of the darkness, Joker swings a huge bell, which smashes into Batman. He is knocked over backwards out onto the parapet. He nearly falls over the edge. Batman's POV, Ground Zero, night. A frightening view 30 stories down toward death. Exterior cathedral. Batman catches himself just before he topples over. Interior. Joker creeps around alone. Not sure if Batman fell. He hides, flattens up against an archway inside the belfry. Sound of chopper in distance. Joker hears it.
Step on it. I'll be on the roof.
Suddenly, Batman appears behind Joker's shoulder. He jerks an arm around Joker's neck, pinning him against archway.
Have you danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Joker jumps off the ground. He tries to get away. Batman wraps his other arm around and click, handcuffs himself to the Joker.
Well, now is your big chance.
Joker struggles. He twists and turns the handcuffs, but can't shift them. He can hardly move.
That was dumb. Now I'm going to have to operate.
Joker squirts acid on the handcuffs. Batman slips his arms back around Joker, pulling him into the open. They stand tethered face to face. Joker hits Batman hard. Batman returns the blow. Joker hits again, and Batman returns. The Joker gives a tremendous tug, and the sizzling handcuffs break. He runs to the wooden lever. Joker breaks a 2x4 from the wooden framework of Belfry and smashes Batman with it. Batman goes down. Joker hits him again. Helicopter approaches and dangles ladder over a parapet. Joker steps out onto parapet. He grabs up for the dangling ladder. Batman looks up from where he has fallen. His POV up into Belfry, where there are thousands of bats stirring. They hear, oh wow. On Batman, he activates a sonar device on his belt. A shrill whine lifts into the air. This is cool. Cut to exterior bell tower parapet. That moment, helicopter hovers at the site of the bell tower. Joker steps up onto the wall between two gargoyles, that's a word I know, and puts his foot onto one of the rungs of the ladder. He looks up as he hears unearthly screaming from Belfry. Exterior bell tower parapet. That moment, suddenly the air is full of bats, diving and flapping all over the place. The noise from Batman's belt climbs in pitch, and it does so the bats fly faster. They swarm above Joker in an ever-thickening black cloud. Moments later, the swarm of bats sweeps out and engulfs him. He screams, tries to beat them. I thought they're on his team. On bats. Suddenly, Batman steps through the cloud. He grabs Joker, pulling him off the ladder. Batman lifts him bodily up off the ground by front of his coat. He pushes him back against a gargoyle. Joker struggles, and the gargoyle crumbles, and Joker slips backward. Joker knows he's a dead man, and he smiles. He grabs for Batman's cowl and grips it as he falls.
I saved the last dance for you. Both of them tumble down into an endless darkness.
Two bodies fall in. Pas de deux. Joker screams. Sound of wind rushing by. Exterior falling POV night. Camera falls downward. Lights float lazily up at us from the onrushing street below. Exterior falling night tight. Batman fires a hook and a line back up to the roof. On hook. It lands on roof and skitters along looking for a crevice to hook on. On Joker. He stares back at Batman as he drifts away. Joker's laughing all the way down. On the hook. On Batman. He spreads his cape, slowing down a bit. Hook skitters to it and seizes on its grimacing jaws. Joker plummets to earth, crashing on cathedral steps. Laughter stops. On Batman, slow motion. He falls, turns upside down, and stops in midair. Coming to the end of a long tether from the top of the tower, he bounces a bit and it hangs upside down, like a bat. A scream fills the air. We're looking down at the Joker, whose body lies splayed and broken on the steps. We drift downward, closer, until his face fills the screen, his chilling grin still intact. The Joker's expression is almost childlike as he stares aimlessly at the stars. A flashbulb pops. Reverse angle to see Vicky Vale, because she's now here, taking the photo of the year. She looks down because she didn't do all the work of climbing up the cathedral tower. No, she didn't. The shot from elsewhere wakes her up.
Batman's falling to the ground over there.
Vicky spins around, looks in that direction, and follows the voice. Exterior cathedral. People run toward the place where Batman has fallen. Closer, we see the figure of Batman completely covered with his cape, face down in the courtyard. A circle of people press and police surround him. Commissioner Gordon steps into the circle.
Turn him over. Now we'll see who this guy is.
Gordon approaches the body. Vicky rushes up, looks down at the cape-covered body. Looking at her camera, conflicted, she raises it to take her prize photo on Cape. As Gordon pulls back Cape and turns over the body, taut in face. It's not Bruce Wayne. It's a groggy Alexander Knox in his own clothes. On Vicky. She flashes a picture and brings down her camera. A smile plays across her face on Knox. He blinks his eyes at the light.
Can I still make the late edition?
That is so funny. Exterior elsewhere in the square at night. Through a crowd, a man walks into a side street. He turns around. It's Bruce Wayne. It's him. He's got his utility belt over his shoulder because now he has it. He disappears into the darkness, dissolved to exterior Wayne Manor evening. It's majestic. Wind rustles through the trees.
All right, members of the press. Commissioner Gordon and I have a few announcements to make.
Cut to exterior press conference next evening. A large group of press gathers outside the courthouse to hear Dent, Mayor, and Gordon sum up the events.
First of all, to clear up a little misunderstanding, Gotham Globe reporter Alexander Knox is not the Batman.
All heads turn to see blushing Knox. He grins and touches the bandage on his head.
On the other hand, he's not Alexander Knox.
Our police officers have recovered, and although some of them have sworn off coffee, they're all back on duty. More laughter. Vicky steps up next to Allie.
Aren't you covering this press conference, Vic?
No, I'm gonna disappear a while.
Unexpectedly, Vicky kisses Allie on the lips. Long and sweet.
Yeah.
He is stunned. I am stunned.
It was a ride, wasn't it, Allie? See you around.
Wait a minute. What about us?
Vicky is already down the street.
What about the Pulitzer?
You get mine for me, Allie.
She walks away. Allie steps out into the street. Shouts.
What about your picture of Batman?
If he wants his picture taken, he knows where to find me.
On Dent, he now has the stage.
We received a letter from Batman this morning. Gotham City's earned a rest from crime, but if the forces of evil should rise again to cast a shadow on the heart of the city, call me.
On press, they're quiet.
Question. How do we call him?
He gave us a signal. On Gordon, he steps to a searchlight and flips it on. Exterior, Gotham City wide, night. On the side of the old cathedral, the bat signal, the yellow moon, a black caped man, the melancholy icon calling for help in the dark night of Gotham City. Exterior, dark night. Footsteps down the street. As they get closer, we see it's Vicky. She passes by an old building. Something runs into her. She looks down to see two little boys dressed in homemade Batman costumes.
Sorry, lady. We was playing Batman.
They take off past her, those rascally kids. She looks after them, smiling. A sound somewhere in the darkness above. She turns to look. Backlit Batman, silently looking down at her. Exterior street. She gazes up at him. A limousine is settling next to her. She looks in. It's Alfred.
I thought champagne might be in order, ma'am.
Vicky smiles, gets him back into her car. Vicky settles in. Champagne and Crystal set in back seat. Alfred dries off.
Mr. Wayne said to tell you he'd be a bit late.
I'm not surprised, Alfred. I'm not surprised.
Exterior above the street, night. Batman watches, dances across a rooftop, bat signal in background. Fade out. Yeah. Oh my God.
Great job, guys.
So many words.
Woo! Thank you. And you're awesome. Did it. That was Batman.
That's exactly how the movie was.
There was
Exactly.
a scene that needed to go in the movie. I can't believe
Yeah.
that.
Pretty close.
Especially the horse scene. That had to be there.
Yeah,
Oh
that was.
my
Where was
God.
that in the movie?
And then she made out with and then Vicky made out with Knox.
Yeah,
For
where did that come
a
from?
bit too long.